What's up, everybody? What's up? Here to wake these people up about this Democrat socialist BS. It's not needed in America. Keep that stuff somewhere else. Ain't waste no time. Let's get it. You guys see it. It's Cash Jordan about Madani goofy stuff. People voted for it. Here we go.
Mayor Mom Donnie is after Amazon. Look at this.
Special delivery. It looks like an Amazon delivery.
And it drives like an Amazon delivery.
And it's an Amazon delivery.
Okay.
Amazon is spending millions of dollars to convince you that this isn't an Amazon delivery. But all you have to do is see for yourself.
My
Okay.
uniform says Amazon.
If I don't wear this Amazon branded vest, disciplinary action will be taken against us. The workers' routes and hours are set by Amazon.
Okay.
Why isn't Amazon responsible for these vans?
Because Amazon and other corporations have built a vast network of subcontractors.
That shield them from responsibility.
So what this is about is New York City looking at a business model it doesn't like and threatening to eliminate it. And look at how many jobs this will cost. One analysis says 10,000 jobs. It could be double that. And prices for people are going to go through the roof if this happens. But that's not what anybody in favor of it thinks. Look at this.
They should follow the same rules of every other delivery.
Mayor Zohran Mamdani is ramping up his fight with Amazon
Yep.
and some other big corporations, this time over worker protections. Mamdani, in a new social media video, showed his support for the Delivery Protection Act, legislation that would require companies like Amazon to directly hire employees instead of going through subcontractors.
Yeah, they don't want
The bill
that.
sponsor,
What's up, man?
Councilwoman
What's
Tiffany
up, what's
Caban,
up?
explained her push.
Good day.
People that are
Good
in
evening.
Amazon vests, driving those Amazon vans, delivering Amazon packages, they're saddled with impossible quotas, with vehicles that are falling
That's not
apart.
true.
And then when something inevitably goes wrong because of that, there's an accident, whatever it is, Amazon gets to say,
This is true.
not my employee, not my problem, because they use this sham of a subcontracting model to insulate themselves.
Caban's bill would eliminate the current contractor model and place the responsibility of worker safety and employment directly on the distribution company.
It makes it so that whether you are Amazon or some other major delivery partner or carrier, that you are directly employing your workers, that you're
So they want to eliminate these businesses entirely. And what are their reasons for doing it? They claim that Amazon delivery workers have impossible quotas, which isn't true. They claim the vehicles they drive are falling apart, which also isn't true. They disagree with a certain type of business, and now they want to eliminate it. And if they do that, look what Amazon says. People are going to be looking at a price hike because their operation is going to get more unaffordable to operate. It will likely cost New Yorkers an extra $664 per year just to get the deliveries they're already getting. Go figure, the Teamsters Union is in favor of this Delivery Protection Act.
Caban joined with union members on Long Island on Monday to
Union
rally for
members.
the bill.
It's all about unions.
Back in Harlem, there was a separate protest with critics of the bill, including other delivery workers and subcontractors.
There are an estimated
all gonna lose their
3,500
jobs.
last-mile delivery jobs in Harlem and the 4 adjoining council districts alone. Up to 10,000 across this city. Held mostly by
crazy.
New Yorkers without a college degree. Jobs you can start on a Monday with no diploma and no car.
I urge you to
Right.
consider that. There are thousands of people directly employed by delivery companies whose livelihoods will be severely disrupted.
This is the problem. None of these politicians don't have. Mandani never worked a real job. He's an actor, a failed rapper. He never worked a real job. The man is spoiled. And here we are, you know what I'm saying? People went out, here we are, here they are. You know what I'm saying? They voted for an actor. And now they complaining about it. Like, y'all do no research. Y'all just voted for the dude because he can smile and good speech. Now y'all upset. Now New York is losing, constantly losing money. People leaving. It's an embarrassment. And New York is too big for that. There was no way Madani should be asking for money or anything like that. The money should be already been set for him. But this goofy ass idea about free stuff makes no sense and it's hurting everybody. They don't understand it. Because once your business or landlord or business can't afford nothing, the government's going to take over. And once that happens, you guys don't want that, how they control things and regulate things and mandate things. I guess you guys like things to be mandated, regulated. I don't. Less government, the better.
By this bill.
The bill was introduced
They don't
earlier
care.
this year and got a hearing in April. City Council Speaker Julie Menon has not fallen on either side of the argument. A spokesman in a statement to New York One said the bill is going through the legislative process.
These are jobs that you can start on a Monday without a college degree, without the permission of the government, and start providing for yourself. What an affront to communism. The fact that people would run to a $1 trillion company like Amazon and get a job and an opportunity from that company. How dare they? How dare Amazon have a system that allows that to happen? The communists in New York are the only ones who are going to be giving out anything to anybody here. They're going to be giving out the free groceries. They're going to be giving out the free apartments. And God forbid you get a job somewhere else. That's wrong. We're going to shut down that job. You must be exploited. You're being brainwashed by that company. You're stupid for taking that job. But don't worry, the communists, we're going to eliminate that job so that you don't have it anymore. And then you can just get in line at the free grocery store. That's what they want your job to be, coming to them for pretty much everything. Listen to this.
Dedicated to supporting and advocating for 27,000 local businesses in our beautiful
Albert, how
borough,
you doing?
especially that of the
Welcome to
micro businesses.
Welcome,
I am
welcome.
here on behalf of
Welcome.
over 10,000 employees who will be severely impacted by this legislation,
terrible.
especially those in the Bronx whom I have had the opportunity to speak with. There is a strong misconception that the direct service providers mistreat their workers and that this legislation would improve worker safety by ending the DSP model and mandating that companies like Amazon directly employ all workers.
This is crazy.
When preparing these remarks on this bill, I took time to speak to some of those DSP, small business owners. These are
Thank
not
you very much.
faceless
Appreciate that.
operators.
Like,
They are
share, subscribe,
entrepreneurs
everybody. Welcome to
like
the channel.
Randy,
Like, share,
Jordan,
subscribe.
Ron, Bass, Ty, Emmett.
Name is Deontay. Everybody's welcome to the channel. If you're not MAGA, it's okay. I'm MAGA, you gotta be. But respect the channel, you're welcome. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to learn, see what's going on from both sides. Because I'm MAGA doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying, I got no common sense. I'm here and I'm listening. Let's get it.
Joe, Chris, and others who have built their business from the ground up.
Yep.
These 8 business owners alone employ over 1,200 people.
And the idea of people living the American dream, doing their own thing, succeeding without the government, oh no, that makes the communists very angry.
These are all immigrants, veterans, first-generation business owners who often started as delivery drivers themselves and worked their way
with
up.
impossible
They have
quotas.
achieved the American dream and are now working for their employees to do the same. These DSP owners offer tuition reimbursement, workforce development. Many also provide loans, financial mentorship, housing assistance, often helping individuals transition out of shelters. Like many small businesses, offer something that large companies cannot replicate through direct employment. Deeply personal, community-rooted relationships.
These companies offer jobs to people who other industries may not want to hire. They'll offer jobs to people that are getting their foot in the workforce. They'll offer jobs to people that are coming out of a shelter in New York City. They're doing things to help people get skills that the public education system, which is already run by the communists, was never going to give them. And now those very same communists want to eliminate these jobs, which are going to stop people who might someday start their own business or who might leave a job like this after getting some work experience and getting on their feet. It's going to stop them from moving on to something else. This whole thing is bad on so many levels. This is not a job creation initiative. This is not a worker protection initiative. Workers need the ability to pick whatever job they want. If they hate that job, they've got the ability to leave. No one's forcing anyone to work at these places. That's the other crazy thing. And what's going to happen to these jobs? Well, there are 2 options. Option 1, Amazon could go and hire everybody, and then when you get a delivery, just like on your Uber receipt in New York, it's going to have a locality surcharge because it's New York. They got to charge you more money because of all the local laws. Or Amazon could just say, you know what? We're not going to hire anybody, and we're just going to give all of our packages to UPS, FedEx, and the Postal Service. There you go. Have at it. Either way, the service is going to get worse. Either way, people are going to lose their jobs. Either way, things get more expensive. And then what about all the businesses that rely on Amazon deliveries every day to operate smoothly? What's it going to do to those companies? How many other jobs are going to be lost down the line? We have no idea. 10,000? That's the low end of the estimate. Listen to this. But just before we continue, do you owe back taxes or have unfiled returns? Or have you filed every year but just keep owing? Did you retire and suddenly get hit with a tax bill you didn't expect? Or are you a business owner with messy books and a balance you just can't afford? Maybe you pulled money out of your 401k and now the IRS wants its share. However your tax issue started, the outcome is the same. Your balance is not going down. Penalties grow, interest accrues, and many of you are about to owe again this upcoming year with zero plan in place. Stop what you're doing right now and call Tax Network USA. The IRS is not waiting. The IRS is enforcing collections through wage garnishments, bank levies, and property seizures. They can even file for you without your consent. This is where Tax Network USA comes in with over 15 years in business. There hasn't been a tax case they haven't seen or resolved. They specialize in tax controversies and help taxpayers nationwide get back on track by resolving back taxes and unfiled returns once and for all. And whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, their team has resolved over $1 billion in tax debt. They can do the same for you, but you have to call your legal rights. Going to be in the description of this video. Now let's get back to the show.
It would also require the smaller companies Amazon uses to get packages to their final destination, called Delivery Service Partners, or DSPs, to be licensed with the city. Matthew Multari, who's been driving for Amazon through its partner facility in Woodside, Queens for about a year and a half, says he supports the legislation.
And Amazon's been squeezing out the DSPs. I know people who have worked at good DSPs that were cut. And over time, Amazon has been putting more and more pressure, giving them lower budgets, increasing their route volumes. So it's just not a sustainable way to build a future for anybody.
Meanwhile, some DSP owners are pushing back against the bill.
What this bill does for me is actually closes and shut down my business. It takes 150 people that work for me and puts them out of work. This actually impacts everyone's life by passing this bill. While well-intended, the outcome is not good for the city. It's not good for our employees. It's not good for the customers at the end of the day either.
No.
Because it's going to slow down their packages or potentially raise the costs of getting their packages.
City Council says that Amazon would be essentially forced to hire the employees that are going to lose their jobs as a result of the DSPs going away. But there is no level of certainty that they will be rehired. And so what happens first and foremost is a direct impact of the people that we've hired so far losing their job entirely and then being at the mercy of being possibly maybe rehired.
Amazon submitting written testimony for the hearing.
And if you don't like this job, if you don't want to do this job, then don't apply for it. Don't willingly take the job like the gentleman that we have on the screen here and then appear in the mayor's commercial and talk about how awful it is to work there. This whole thing is just a propaganda push from people who think a system is rigged against them when they're working at a job they don't have to take. But listen to the real reason these communists want to take on Amazon. Listen to what they're really mad about. You're going to hear it from the bill's sponsor.
Putting workers out of a job. If the workers decide that they want to organize at a DSP and unionize, Amazon pretty much immediately cuts the contract with that DSP. And we heard
this whole
we just recently had the bill heard in the city council, and we heard from a former DSP owner, this guy named David, who went out of business because he closed his business. He didn't sell it. He closed it because he said this is completely unsustainable. It was either choose to stay profitable or make my workers unsafe. And he couldn't do both. And he said, well, I'm not going to do this. And so the only people this model really works for are the executives of parent companies like Amazon.
What about the 10,000 people that work at these companies? They've got 5 people out there complaining in a propaganda commercial for the mayor. They've got testimony from somebody who doesn't like the job. They've got testimony from somebody who decided that they didn't want to be in that business anymore, so they closed down. That doesn't speak for every single person.
Dre, you watched the video yet before you just jumped in and say MAGA is fucking dumb? Did you get a chance to watch the video at least? It's been 12 minutes into the video. Are you paying attention to what's going on? Well, you must be a beta. You know what I'm saying? You must have been talking, not paying attention. He don't know what a woman is. His attention span is too short. You know what I'm saying? The video was 12 minutes in. You know what I'm saying? I guess if I had a 12-second video, he'd been cool, but it says 12 minutes. It's too much for his brain. It's overridden. Too much information. Too much truth. Proving your point about what? You in our situation. You in my chat. You know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and leave if you want. Other than that, we're going to continue. You say he's probably illegal. He probably is. So he's probably a Chinese bot. You know what I'm saying? Probably getting paid and shit. He got his mask on. You know what I'm saying? On the real. Probably got like 15 boosters. Fucking beta.
So that doesn't mean this entire industry is a scam. And if it's a scam, why aren't the 10,000 people...
Right, we got these fucking Democrat socialists wanting to fuck up the Constitution. And you gotta keep on saying MAGA's a cult, Trump is destroying the Constitution, but yet they telling you fuck the Constitution, but yet you calling us dumb. You the one that's stupid. You ain't paying attention. Get out your ass. Wake the fuck up.
Who Amazon's exploiting, who are about to lose their jobs. Why aren't they happy that these jobs are going to go away? Why aren't they out there thanking the communists? Where are...
You know what I'm saying? They just idiots. Useful idiots. You know, I get it's entertainment, but if you're going to entertain yourself, at least get some education out of it. Instead of being a troll or an asshole. Or go to somebody else's channel or get your own.
All these people that we're told are negatively affected by something New York relies on every single day. And you heard it right there. This is about organizing. This is about getting people to unionize and take it to these corporations. That's the mission of these communists. They're not trying to protect anybody. They're trying to take down these corporations. They're trying to punish them. And this has nothing to do with jobs or opportunity for anyone except themselves. Listen to this.
This bill is premised.
And you know, it's sad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got my MAGA hat on, but the video bigger than my hat. They ain't paying attention to the hat more than the video. I got a small screen. It's a big video playing. I don't really understand it. Listen to the message. See what's going on. This man, Cash Jordan, he lives in New York. And it's total chaos. If I'm not mistaken, I think he does realist. I think he's a realtor too, if I'm not mistaken. So he's a YouTuber and a realtor, live in New York. So you got like boots on the ground with the BS going on. He's telling it. I'm sharing it. And I'm from Chicago, live in Rockford, and in Chicago it's chaos. Brandon Johnson is an idiot as a mayor. All that money went straight to the illegals. About to lose the Bears, you know. Not just him, you got Governor Pritzker too. Everything's on Trump. You guys are the Democrats. You guys are controlling these policies and making these policies happen. Stop blaming Trump. It's Democrats that's doing it.
On the data that these business owners and their employees would be better off working directly for large corporations. Right. May I finish?
Oh, they don't want her to finish.
Taking away one's freedom to apply and accept a job of their choice is not only wrong on the policy level, but on the moral one.
Right. Let people make their own choices.
I know the supporters of this bill believe they are doing good. I ask council members to more strongly consider the desires of these workers whose livelihood will be impacted by this legislation.
They don't care about that. What they care about is passing something that hurts companies who are their ideological enemies. You've got to understand, Amazon, $1 trillion company, the communists hate that. The fact that they exist is an affront to the communists who don't think any company should ever be worth that much money. Because that right there, it's a self-sustaining job creation engine that allows people to go there and earn what they need to live somewhere, to pay their rent, to buy their own food without the help of the government. And the goal of this is complete government dependence. And we saw just a couple of weeks ago, before this announcement from the mayor, just how much New York City hates Amazon. Listen to this.
And now they have 2 weeks to get it together or face the consequences.
Oh, consequences.
Today, our administration, through our corporation council, is sending a cease and desist letter to more than 40 online retailers.
The city of New York taking legal action against e-commerce giants over e-bikes and motorized scooters.
Okay.
And you're speaking about companies like Amazon,
Amazon,
Best Buy, Wayfair, some of the largest retailers in the country.
They hate them for being
and that
large.
they have been operating outside of the bounds of the law is something of immense concern.
How?
Mayor Mamdani and New York State Attorney General Letitia James announcing a crackdown on 42 online retailers Wednesday at City Hall. This just steps away and a week after 17-year-old...
It has to do with e-bikes. So you have people in New York who exist in a justice system that has zero consequences for lawless behavior. And what are they doing? They're buying illegal e-bikes and they're riding them on sidewalks and in bike lanes in an unsafe manner at speeds that are in violation of the law. And this is all Amazon's fault. Amazon is the reason for this, not the criminals committing crimes using some of these same devices in snatch and grab robberies. Oh no, this is all Amazon's fault. So the city, what do? They get out there and they thump their chest and they say, we're coming after Amazon. It's Amazon, $1 trillion company selling these illegal products to criminals who didn't know any better and just bought them for some reason and did things illegal. We need to punish Amazon, the $1 trillion company that has a system that employs people outside of them. Go figure.
As of this week, there are 34 council members who support the legislation, which is a supermajority of the council.
So it's going to pass.
This is just the culmination of a groundswell of support as it is.
What do you mean?
We have a large coalition. It's workers, street safety folks, it's environmental protection folks, and now we have the full weight of the administration behind us too.
Kelly Mena.
I don't see that. I see
the council.
I see a coalition of regular people who want their job to exist and don't want this to pass. And on the other side of that, who do the politicians say their coalition's made up of? People that are in a union that donate to the Democrats and the socialists. This is not a coalition. This is manufactured, bought, and paid for support. This is not some grassroots uprising. A union's anything other than a grassroots entrenched people with a political interest to take on every corporation and spread their union poison through every business in New York City. I have a feeling that this is going to, and what that means, sadly, is that New York will get less affordable. There will be less jobs, less opportunity, and higher costs. And who is this a handout to? This is a handout to FedEx. This is a
I'm assuming you, with the rest of the DSA platform, are in favor of open borders. I wanted to play some of this video from Ceuta, Spain, just to give you an idea and maybe get your take on what's happening there, as they call it chaotic when they open the borders and they let the flow of migrants in. If we can play some of this video, what do you think of that? Are you afraid that might happen here, or do you welcome this?
I don't think there's anything to fear with people seeking a better life in the United States of America. My wife is the proud daughter of Nicaraguan immigrants. We have consequences right now as a result of Jared Moskowitz, my opponent, and 46 Democrats, as well as every Republican voting to pass the Laken Riley Act. That is not only detained immigrants with no criminal conviction whatsoever, but they're now sweeping up American citizens, people who are being racially profiled. So we're seeing people dying in ICE detention, being shot on the street, like in Biddeford, Maine, just a few weeks ago, and of course in Minneapolis. So we have an out-of-control ICE agency.
What about the people killed by the illegal immigrants? What about the many people, the Laken Rileys, I can go down the list, being killed by illegal immigrants? Why are there no protests for them? Why would you not protest for them? Would you at least concede that this is a big problem in this country?
We certainly need to make sure that our communities are safe, and that if people have committed violent crimes, that they are held accountable for that, including if they've committed violent crimes in the countries that...
Because ICE is lawless in and of itself. We run these roles every day of ICE bringing these people out of the country who have committed heinous crimes. Last week, there were a number of rapes of a baby, of a 6-year-old.
If the protesters just do it the right way, which is basically just stay at the fuck home and let ICE do their job, there'll be no issues. You guys wasn't out there protesting when Obama was doing it. Biden was doing it. No protest. It was crickets. Tom Holmes, the same guy that Obama used to get these people up out of here. They came here bogusly. You came here the right way. We get it. You can stay all day, no problem, because your paperwork says it. But you've been here for how long and you didn't get nothing done? He ain't trying to assimilate nothing. Oh, come on. Get your out of here. You gotta go. Gotta go. Fair is fair. Period.
would these types of things be worthy of protest?
We need to keep our communities safe, and we need to hold people accountable when they have harmed others, when they have broken the law.
And then it makes no sense. Oh yeah, they broke the law, but they broke the law trying to get here. They got here doesn't mean they got to stay here and do due process. No. They don't live here. Why are we spend our money for them to be detained in our prison on our land? You rewarding them. That's what he wants you to do. And I understand that's, you know what I'm saying, their country is that bad. They'd rather go to be in prison or in the American's jail cell than to be in their country. That's something. But do it the right way, period, man. We can't go over there as Americans, go with other countries and do that. So why y'all want to do that with us? And then when most of them, they get here, they on EBT and Section 8. They not like bringing value to the country. They're not paying taxes. That shit bogus as hell. The ones that came here the right way, they waited in line, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure they looking like, man, I've been in line all this time, and these people just jumped in line. That's not cool. Like in Great America, when you go to a theme park, you want a speed pass, you want to jump the line, you got to pay for it. You got to pay to get in front of the line. You can't just jump the line. You got to pay the extra fee to get in front of the line. They ain't even doing that. It's crazy.
But let's be clear, immigration is a civil violation, not a criminal violation. So we need to stop treating the equivalent of a parking ticket like people are breaking the law and need a militarized police force breaking down their doors.
Boy. So we got to talk about this fascinating interview featuring Sean Hannity and Oliver Larkin, who is a far-left Democrat socialist running out in Florida in one of these congressional seats that was redrawn by the Republicans. And he's facing Jared Moskowitz, who is a long-standing Democrat Party member. And that race is going to be a tough race. Now, this race is super important because this race is one of those races that we should pay attention to, because if the socialist ends up winning in this district, right, after they got redrawn, then that's going to be a problem for Democrats, right? And again, I want to talk about it because Sean Hannity is once again going to confront one of these socialists with very simple questions that they should be able to answer, but for whatever reason, they can't answer it, despite running around talking about how much they want to tax everybody, how much they want to take everybody's money, and how everybody's not paying their fair share, right?
Yeah, thank you guys.
But when asked for specifics on exactly how much money they want to take, how much money should we pay, they don't want to give us an answer. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
All right, so this radical DSA movement sweeping the Democratic Party is making its way to South Florida. Wow. Where DSA and Hassan Piker-backed candidate Oliver Larkin is challenging incumbent Jared Moskowitz for the Democratic nomination in Florida's 25th district, which is widely expected to be a toss-up in November. Now, Larkin shares a lot in common with other extreme socialist DSA members, including, of course, a passionate hatred of Israel. The similarities, extend far beyond that.
Look, here's the thing, right? I got to say this. I really wish that Fox News and the mainstream level media would stop doing this, right? Stop leading with these people being anti-Semites. I'm sorry, right? Like, that's not what you should lead with. Lead with the fact that they are radical socialists, okay? They're communists, and they believe all of these crazy things, okay? These people love to focus on the Israel stuff. Please, let's not make this election about Israel. I mean, it's one of the most annoying things about politics right now, okay? We're making our whole elections about a third world conflict that I honestly don't care about, right? I just don't give a damn about Israel, to be honest with you, okay? Or Palestine, right? I'm just gonna be 100% with you. I really don't care that much about that, right? I just don't. But we hear about it all the time, okay? So the important thing that Sean Hannity laid out was that this race is widely expected to be a toss-up. What does that mean? That means going into the general, it is reasonable, possible that the Democrat incumbent, Jared Moskowitz, right, if he wins his race, could lose. Okay, and he's not.
Yeah, thank you, Nick Shirley, and his what is his partner named Mike. Thanks to them for that. Insane. 80% on welfare. 19 billions in fraud.
Super far left, right? Like, he's not super far left. He's somewhat close to a normie Democrat, even though he's left. Don't get me wrong. He's very liberal, but he's somewhat, in the same area, somewhat, okay? So if a socialist wins, the theory is that, well, he may be too far left for a swing district, which would make that district easier to flip for Republicans. Again, this is part of the reason why I'm not buying into the blue wave talk. Right? Some of these districts, again, are going to be contested by socialists, and they're going to be swing districts, and the socialists are going to end up losing. And if they end up losing enough of these races, right, if they make it to the general, again, that's going to affect the outcome of the House. We already know the key races out in the Senate, right? So again, this is why I'm not on board with the whole blue wave stuff, because I'm telling you, these socialists, they're too radical, right? They're way too radical, and they're going to be running in some of these swing districts. Okay? And they're going to have a hard time winning. And Republicans are going to essentially win races that they otherwise should lose because, again, Democrats are running candidates that are way off the political spectrum on the left.
If Oliver Larkin had his way, well, there would be Medicare for all, no more electoral college, automatic same-day voter registration, an immediate shift away from fossil fuels, public ownership of the fossil fuel infrastructure. He supports abolishing and prosecuting ICE, free public college and universities, an end to the Iranian sanctions, an end to the embargo with Cuba, and federal rent caps. In other words, just like every other DSA candidate, he would radically transform our country until, I would argue, it's not recognizable. Last week, he did join me on my radio show. I asked him about his radical agenda. Take a listen.
To each American based on their needs, from each American based on their ability. Do you support that?
I think that's a fine concept.
You know who said that first? You don't, do you?
Inform me.
I will inform you. A guy by the name of Karl Marx.
All right, here to try and defend his, agenda, Florida Democratic congressional candidate, Oliver Larkin. I do appreciate you coming on. I do. Let's pick up where we left off on my radio show. So I ask you, to each according to their need, from each American according to their ability. And I ask you, well, who said that? You did not know that it was Karl Marx. Have you had time to think about that?
I've been focusing on meeting the people of our district, and I'm not coming at this from a theoretical point of view. I'm coming at this race from a pragmatic point of view of what the American people and the people of South Florida need, and that is Medicare for all, that is universal child care, that is the policy proposals that you just articulated on your show. This is what people, working class people, Democrats, Republicans, and independents want to see reflected in our government's priorities.
Well, what gives you such confidence? Medicare for all, taxpayer-funded abortions, federal government, prescription drugs, no more electoral college, automatic same-day voter registration, et cetera, which I think is ridiculous because you need time to check it out. $25 minimum wage. Let me ask you the question this way. Out of every dollar these so-called evil rich people make, how much should they be able to keep in their pocket after they pay all the taxes you and your fellow socialist / Marxist would like to take? How much should they be able to keep?
I think if we went back to the mid-20th century top marginal tax rates that we saw under the FDR, Truman, and Eisenhower administrations, that would be a fine place to start, because that was the golden age of the American middle class when we were expanding the share of wealth and equity in the country. And
you want, give me a number. What percentage of every dollar should every American be able to keep after they pay the government, local, state, federal?
It depends on the range of income that someone is making. For billionaires, I think that billionaires should be taxed out of existence. There's far too much money that is concentrated among the wealthy few.
You want to empower the government to take from the most creative providers, the most brilliant people in our country. Now, I don't know many billionaires that are self-made that are stupid. Do you?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, though. The socialists are stupid, so they clearly don't understand basic economics, basic financial literacy. This guy doesn't understand that if you tax billionaires out of existence, which sounds great, right? It sounds like a great talking point, right, to idiots, right? It's a great soundbite. The problem is, if you practically did that, there would be no money for all the socialist stuff that this person wants to pay for. What these people don't understand is that what pays for our current social safety net, which is robust, by the way, right? Fairly robust. I mean, we got people who are obese on food stamps. Come on, right? Like, they're not lacking calories, right? Nobody's starving in the United States. Let's be honest,
not
right?
starving.
Let's be honest, okay? That's not a real thing, okay? It's not prevalent. It's not widespread, okay? Because we do have a robust social safety net. We have people straight up living off the government. We're very generous with how we basically give our tax dollars to people who don't contribute, okay? That's only affordable when you have a system, tax rates, that incentivize economic growth and innovation. Because that innovation, that wealth creation, is what expands the tax base. I know it's a very difficult concept for economically illiterate socialists to understand, but just because somebody else is getting richer doesn't mean that everybody else is getting poor, right? It just means that the pie is getting larger, right? And everybody benefits when the pie is getting larger. It's up to you. You got to make the individual decision about whether or not you want to participate, right? Do you want to make the same sacrifices that you typically have to make, right? That entrepreneurs have to make, that business owners have to make, that capital has to make, right? Do you want to take the same risk that those people have to take in order to participate in the pie growing, right? But because if you don't want to do that, right? If you just want to do labor, which implies you're taking less risk, right? The person who is employing you is taking all the risk. If you don't want to take risk and you just want to do labor, that's fine. But don't get mad when people who are taking risk, right, who are putting in the work, are benefiting from that more than people who aren't taking a risk. Decent. Yeah, they may be working hard, but again, you're not taking a risk, right? Capitalism, the essence of capitalism, is compensating people for taking risk. People who have a regular 9-to-5 are not taking the same type of risk as somebody who owns a business, right? It's not the same thing. And again, I don't know why these people just fail to grasp that concept that taking risk should not be disincentivized. It's something that should be incentivized, because without people taking risk, without innovation, without growth, you can't pay for the social safety nets. They're not affordable. You can't do it. It becomes unsustainable. Furthermore, these people keep running around talking about the 1940s and 1950s, right? The marginal tax rates. When that's not the same thing as effective tax rate. Nobody was really paying 90%, which was like the top marginal rate back in the 1940s. Nobody actually paid that. But again, do I expect a socialist to actually understand the difference between a marginal tax rate and an effective tax rate? No, I don't, right? I don't expect them to understand that. All they do is go on national television with their same silly talking points, showing that they're ignorant. They don't understand a damn thing, right? Because they've all been coached by the same groups of people telling them to say the same stuff that under just the slightest bit of scrutiny falls apart. Again, like the whole, I just want to go back to the tax rates that we had back in the 1940s and the 1950s. Yeah, but the rich didn't pay 90+%. They paid more around 30 to 40%, right? That's where they were actually at. And that's what a lot of people are paying today, right, in taxes, right? A lot of the so-called 1%, right? So again, these people are just ignorant. They're economically illiterate, right? And because of that, this is why you see a lot of this stuff growing in the country. People are economically and financially illiterate. And that is what, again, I think is leading to a lot of what we're seeing, right? The embrace of socialism. If people were financially and economically literate and responsible, nobody would support socialists, because everybody would know how to get ahead, right? Everybody would know how to not get left behind, right? Which means that, hey, you have to take risks. You have to invest. You have to use your money wisely, right? It's really that simple. But again, people don't want to hear that. People want to point to everybody else. They will point to somebody that got more than them and say, well, because that person got more than me, that's why I'm not getting ahead. And it's like, no, you're not getting ahead because of your own choices, the decisions that you make on a daily basis. If you're not willing to take risks, if you're not willing to invest, if you're not willing to save, if you're not willing to live below your means, have delayed gratification, if you're not willing to do those things, of course you're not going to get ahead. It is what it is. That's just how it goes.
I don't know any.
Well, I think that in the case of someone like Elon Musk, he's taken billions of dollars in government subsidies and government handouts to enrich his further wealth, and he
also rescued astronauts that were abandoned by Joe Biden. I'm sure you're grateful for Elon's contribution there, right? I'm grateful for that.
Well, I mean, Elon Musk didn't even start his own company. He just bought it out. And this is, someone
but I'm sure you are grateful that he rescued astronauts that Joe Biden abandoned in space 200 and some odd days.
Sean, I'm not really sure what you're speaking to. The International Space Station. I think
I'm talking about the guys that needed to be rescued, and Joe Biden did nothing, and Elon Musk rescued them. I'm sure you're grateful. All right, let me move on.
I think that we should have a national NASA
billionaires
system
should be taxed out of existence.
Having Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk making their own rockets.
Again, this is just more ignorance. It's just more ignorance. It's more like, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. You got a bunch of people running for Congress who don't know a damn thing. Okay? The reason why the government is giving money, and they're not really even giving it to them, right? I mean, they're basically earning the money, right? I mean, these are real contractors, right? This is real work that they're doing. The reason why the government is hiring Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos to build these rockets is because ultimately they can do it for cheaper and more efficiently than the government can do it, right? Because they're competing, because of competition, right? They're able to provide a service to the government for a lower price than what the government can do it themselves, right? Again, very simple concept that these socialists don't understand, they don't get. But see, he can't admit on national television that Elon Musk has done anything good for society, because then that would completely undermine his argument that billionaires should be taxed out of existence. Because if billionaires should be taxed out of existence, then there's no way that we would have been able to save those astronauts. There's no way that we can provide internet in remote locations across the world for people who don't have access to it without Elon Musk, right? Without Starlink. All of these things that Elon has created, right, that he has done, are clearly net positives for society, right? But again, they don't exist. We don't get those things if you, quote unquote, tax billionaires out of existence. So they can't acknowledge that a billionaire has done anything good for the world at all, right? Despite the fact that I would argue it would be very hard to become a billionaire, right? If you had not at least provided some contribution, some positive contribution to the world. Not every billionaire is a scammer who became a billionaire because he exploited his workers. Exploitation alone is not how you become a billionaire. You have to provide a product or a service. For the most part, you have to provide a product or a service that people actually legitimately need, right? Or they really want. That's typically how it goes. So again, it's very frustrating because these people should be nowhere near Congress in a sane country. But because our country's not sane, because we have a bunch of people who are losers in life, really, seriously. Like, if you are a socialist, you're a loser, right? Like, straight up, right? You're a loser, right? This is jealousy politics. That's what it is. I'm envious of somebody that got more than me. Instead of worrying about what you got and working your butt off and taking risk in order to get ahead and to benefit from what everybody else can benefit from. The capital markets are readily accessible. Anybody can download an app, open up a brokerage account, and participate in the same wealth accumulation that the billionaires participate in, right? For the most part. The main way that they get rich, right? Which is equity in the companies that they own, that they started, okay, that they built. And over time, they've been successful, employed hundreds of thousands, millions of people, right? Providing jobs. Yeah, anybody can participate in that. And you don't even have to know that much, right? That's the crazy part about it. It is easier today to participate in the wealth accumulation than ever before. You don't need to know a damn thing. You don't need to know anything. All you need to know, okay, what are the top 500 companies in the United States? Let me find an index fund that tracks those top 500 companies, and you just set it and forget it. You know, put a little contribution in there every single month. Doesn't matter what it is. Even if it's $25, you're going to be better off, right? You're going to be better off. In 20, 30 years, you're going to say, wow, that was an amazing decision. I just participated in the same wealth accumulation that Elon and everybody else participates in. Which, by the way, I just want to mention this too real quick. Because, again, it just shows you how ignorant these people are. Like, they're trying to smear Elon. Oh, but he didn't actually start Tesla. He bought his company for somebody else. Is it that, like, does that change anything, right? Like, what does that change? Yeah, that's honestly, for a lot of people, the best pathway if you want to get into owning your own business is not to start your own business from scratch, but to save money, to invest wisely, and then to use that money, right, when it becomes big enough to buy a business that somebody else has already created, right? Maybe you identify things that you can do better. right? Things that you can do to make the company more profitable, and then you buy the business from somebody else who's looking to sell the business. And that's your way of getting into owning your own business. That's honestly, I think, the best path for most people. But again, instead of talking about stuff like that, things that are actually going to help people get ahead, these people want to demonize folks who are willing to take risks, right? And it's crazy to me, to be honest. I mean, this type of stuff, it's not American. It's very anti-American.
Somebody making $100,000 a year, how much of every dollar should they be able to keep?
I think that the tax rate on most middle-class Americans...
Give me a number, Dennis.
Oliver, give me a number.
It's not that easy.
How much out of every dollar should they be able to keep?
On cable news, but
$100,000. No, $100,000.
I don't think that we should be.
How much of every dollar should they be able to keep? It's a simple question. How much are you willing to let the government take? How much? Give us a number.
I want to see a return on our taxpayer investment. We pay
Give us a number. Somebody works hard, makes $100,000 a year. How much of every dollar should they keep?
I'm not interested in changing the tax rate on middle-class Americans, on people making $100,000. I want to raise taxes.
Somebody that
on
makes
the $500,000
a year, $500,000 a year. How much out of every dollar should they be able to keep?
It is in proportional to the top marginal tax rate.
Give me a number.
Where if you're making
Oliver, give me a number. How much out of every dollar should they keep?
It's not that simple.
It's not that simple. You're the one that wants, cradle to grave, womb to the tomb, Green New Deal.
What they put into the system.
Okay, so how much
in your head? We should have public ownership of utilities.
The DSA people talk a lot about fairness. What is fair for a guy that makes $500,000 a year? Out of every dollar, how much should the government get? Answer the question. Why don't you stop playing games?
The person making $500,000, $1 million a year, they should pay the same rate in Social Security tax as the rest of the working class because there's a Social Security
How much out of every dollar should go to taxes? How much can they keep?
$184,500 a year.
Oliver, this is my last shot. I'm going to say goodbye.
Billionaire makes into the.
I'm not talking. I asked you $500,000 a year. How much should go to the government out of every dollar? How much should they be able to keep? Answer the question. Be honest, for crying out loud. What's fair?
They should pay the same Social Security tax rate as working class Americans. We need to raise the taxable income cap on Social Security.
You don't want to
billionaires
tell me real opinion because you know you will look stupid. To each according to the need, from each according to their ability. That makes you a Marxist.
Hilarious, right? Hilarious. Again,
like, share, and subscribe, everybody.
Here's the thing, right? I don't know if Sean Hannity was necessarily fair to the guy, right? But let's be real. Specifically when talking about how much money should people pay who make under $100,000 a year. Let's be honest. If this guy got everything that he wanted, free everything, basically, you're going to be paying 30, 40, 50%, right? Most likely 40 to 50%. Yeah, that's what you're going to be doing, right? Again, just look at what they pay over there in Europe, right? We don't even have to guess, right? We can see what they pay over there. They pay a lot, right? The middle class is taxed heavily in these European countries that they want us to be like so much. Why? Because again, you can't afford all this socialism without heavy taxation of the middle class. And that is the scam that has been run on this country from these socialists. They're not being honest about the stuff that they're advocating for and how much it actually will cost, what it actually takes. They keep running around claiming that we can just tax them. The billionaires won't be able to pay for everything. And it's like, that's not how it works. Because what happens when you tax the billionaires, you get less tax revenue because you get less innovation. So therefore, there's less money that can be collected. So once they tax the billionaires out of existence, they realize, we didn't get as much money as we thought. And our tax revenue is actually going down, right? Then they have to move on to the middle class, right? And say, well, see, now you got to pay up because, hey, tax the rich wasn't enough, right? Because again, a vast majority of the tax revenue that can be obtained, again, is going to come from the middle class. It's not affordable without heavy middle class taxation. And I wish that these socialists would just be honest about it. But if they were honest about it, they wouldn't win. Because nobody wants to pay the taxes themselves. They want somebody else to pay it. And I'll never forget this. I will never, ever, 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 ever forget this. This was really an eye-opening moment, right? When Mandami was running around talking about how he's going to have to raise property taxes to pay for taxing the rich. When you looked at the polls, people supported taxing somebody else. They supported taxing the rich in order to pay for socialism, but they didn't support property tax increases in order to pay for socialism? Why didn't they support property tax increases in order to pay for socialism? Well, the reason why they didn't support property tax increases in order to pay for it is because they would be paying for it. When they think somebody else is going to pay for it, then it's fine, right? It's all good, right? Well, the rich are paying for it, so who cares, right? But again, what they don't realize is that when you tax the rich usually don't end up paying not nearly as much as you think. And when they don't pay as much as you think they're going to pay, and then you've already spent this money on these socialist programs that you can't take back because people are now dependent on it, guess what the government has to do? They now have to go to the middle class, and you end up paying anyways. Even
Mamdani, he's kind of leading the charge along with Abdul, along with Ilhan Omar, along with Rashida Tlaib. You're basically seeing this Muslims Unite movement that's being used and capitalized upon because they're able to say, oh my gosh, the poor Palestinians, oh, those big awful Israelis, those big awful Americans, we hate them all. We hate capitalism. We want to throw it out and start all over because it's really worked well for you all over the world and all the parts of the world that you came here from, right? Well, they're rolling up their sleeves and they're getting to work, so don't say they didn't warn you. Watch.
Ilhan and I first got elected, there were some folks saying, we want more Muslims to get elected, so maybe, don't tone it down. I know, I was trying to be nice. And she made a note, like, since we've gotten elected, since 2019, 200 Muslims have been elected across the country.
Wow.
So we think about that for one moment, is this the incredible movement? I know we were just part of it. We weren't the reason, but
Oh, well, she's trying to be modest there, I guess. We weren't the reason. We were just part of it. Yeah, you're just part of it because it's actually something bigger. I mean, I actually think that you probably have a very broad effort going on, a very international, a very global effort that comes to us courtesy of China, courtesy of Iran. And Russia may have a thing to do with this as well. And basically, they want to see the U.S. divided. They want to see the success of these Muslim communist candidates that are trying to undo the success of America. I mean, from within. It's the Trojan horse on steroids. Here's this Ethiopian woman, Milat Kiros, from the 1st District of Colorado, who's going to be going to Congress too. She's going to get elected. And boy, she just puts it right out there. Okay, guys? They want to take us down because they see us as being responsible for having destroyed their home countries. Well, for goodness sakes, just go back, okay? Just go back. No, they're not content doing that. They want to hurt us first. Watch.
I think it's particularly important, not just for our community in Tigray, but communities of the global South, period, right? There's a certain reckoning that we are going to have with the global world order as it exists today, and the way that it fundamentally will have to shift going forward, right? The responsibility that we have as Americans, the recognition that is going to be required of us, of the exploitative and extractive nature that we play on the global scale and the global stage, is only going to be challenged if we are getting represented by people who understand that on a fundamental level, right? And that means getting more immigrants into office. That means getting more people who have heritage in the global South into office, because that's where those decisions are made specifically.
Okay, just to be really clear, these aren't just any immigrants. These are immigrants from, as she said, the global South, because that's the only way you're going to combat what America has done, in her estimation, to the global South. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so there's some deep-rooted anti-Americanism there. And these are the people that are heading straight to Washington, D.C. These are the people that are being charged with taking care of this country. You understand how dangerous this is becoming. But some people are figuring it out. I'd like to give a shout out to my friends over in Staten Island, New York. Woo!
Get this guy out of here. He stinks.
Look at that. Did you see this? Mamdani getting booed right off the stage. That's what I'm talking about.
Boo, 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 boo.
Brand new game here, actually. I'm really excited to try this one out here. Little spicy fortunes in the...
Sorry about that.
Trying to be modest there. No, they're not content doing that. They want to hurt us first. Watch.
I think it's particularly into office.
Staten Island, New York, woo!
Sorry about that, chat.
Look at that. Did you see this? Mamdani getting booed right off the stage. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then you start talking.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for some more dancing? Oh, no, we're not. We're getting awards. Somebody's getting an award. You want to see who's getting an award? Come on, guys. I want some energy here.
Wow! Was that not amazing? It was absolutely, positively fantastic and amazing. And so he's quite the performer. Well, you know, he was like a child actor of some sort. You saw him in the Disney bit. And a rap star. Lots of anti-American language in his rap music. Anyway, so he's ever the composed actor, gets up there with his new American accent, right, as opposed to what we just heard, and tells us, like, everything's great. But that was a quick speech. That was really, really quick.
Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you, guys. I got 2,295. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We are growing.
Because they just boot him and boot him and boot him and boot him right off the stage in Staten Island, New York. We need more of that, okay? We need more where that came from. Do we have more where that came from? I hope. I hope it's not all a bunch of Brooklyn hipsters that are dominating New York now. We need all of those people going out to vote over and over and over and over again. And you know what? I guarantee you there's a lot more of them out there in this country that still appreciate the greatness that is America and want to protect it. Because it needs protection.
Trump's policies doesn't line up with his personality. The left's personality doesn't line up with their policies. And this is what people don't understand when it comes to Trump supporters, Republican voters versus left policies and being a Democrat. See, you have good people who are voting Democrat because they're not reading the policies. They like the person, but they're not paying attention to the policies. And this is why it's important to read. If you know in your right mind you do not agree with little boys being able to go to girls' bathrooms,
right,
why are you voting Democrat?
Why?
If you don't believe in inappropriate curriculums being taught in schools as young as elementary ages, why are you voting Democrat? If you are pro-life and God is the center of your life and you know he is the creator of all things and that is where you stand, and you know that in his word he is against abortion, as a believer, why are you voting Democrat? Oh, Trump. No. You're supposed to be paying attention to the policies. And see, this is what the mix-up is when it comes to believers.
Black guy now,
and this is what lets me know as a person, many believers are fake. Or they look at the outside instead of looking at the fruit of a person. You got to understand that it is so important to see what each of these people are about. And what they are about is written in their policies, and what they vote on, and what they say yay and nay to. not how they talk, not how they go about. Just like I've mentioned him many times, Barack Obama, very charismatic, very captivating, very easy on the eyes, a beautiful colored man. But look at the things he has put in place. Look at all these LGBTQ legislations that has not helped America. Look at the propaganda legislation he put in place. See all of these things. Look at how he treated those who were dealing with Flint, Michigan water when he visited them. See? But he's captivating, easy on the eyes, light up a room. But look at the things he put into place that has hurt us as a society. And see, that's the biggest thing. What are the policies that will hurt us as a society? What are the things that hurt us futuristically as time go on when it comes to the children and education and safety? These are the things you got to look at when you are voting.
She is 1,000% right.
It's not that hard.
Welcome back to the show. I am your brother Wise. I appreciate you guys.
When it comes to most black people, they wouldn't vote because of color. Like, dude, do your research, man. What this person really about? You know what I'm saying? They don't want to do that. That's too much like right, too much work. People just lazy. MAGA is not about to be forgotten about, and we're not like no damn Tea Party. Different situations, man. Welcome to the chat. Not everybody is MAGA. It's all about common sense, you know? Common sense.
Pulling up. I have a few additional clips to get into, but I am glad to see that you have more and more black women who are getting off of the Democratic plantation, and they can see it. Trump derangement syndrome needs to be studied at all levels. And I've been saying it on this platform for a very, very long time. We do not care about the popularity contest. Show me your policies. I'm solely supporting based off of what you say you want to implement. Show me your policies that you plan to implement. Simple as that. I don't care that you can, smooth talk, play basketball, you smoke Newports, a little tree back in the day. I don't care. I want to know your policies, and I'm only voting based off of that. There are so many people out there who call themselves Christians, and they support the Democrat Party because they think the Democrat Party is for them. Although the Democrat Party is the anti-God. Everything about their policy is antithetical to the word. Everything. There is not one policy or agenda that the Democrats are caping for that is in line with the word of God. But yet you have quote unquote
Benjamin Davis, worry about being blocked. Who cares? If you get blocked, you blocked. That's on you. We don't care. We don't care about your feelings. Welcome to the chat. My name is Deontay. Everybody is welcome. If you're not MAGA, you can still be in the chat. You know what I'm saying? We're here to educate each other, learn from each other. If you get offended, be offended. Who gives a fuck? Call me a tam dancer, a coon, whatever you want to on your mama's planet. I don't care. In reality, fuck you. And your feelings. But welcome to the chat. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, fuck you and your feelings. Let's get it. Because at the end of the day, God is in control. Period. We know Trump will be the president for the next 2 years. After that, it's still going to be MAGA, regardless. Because it's called Common Sense Party here. America first. Let's get it.
Christians out here, we'll call them Christian in name only, out here caping. Because they believe that racism racism.
Grow the fuck up. Stop being a victim.
Because they believe that the Republicans are racist. So it's better to not support quote unquote racism than
Right. You know what I'm saying? People got banned from my channel and they hit me up. Man, I got banned. Okay, so fucking what? Have you subscribed to my channel? Have you liked the channel? Are you really engaging in the channel? Because other than that, I really don't care. I'm sick and tired of this bullshit. Everybody crying and shit. Don't want to pay attention. And then shit hit the fan. Oh, yeah, you was right. Fuck being right. Who cares? Just pay attention. Listen. And share the information. Preach the gospel, the good news. That's all it's about. Everybody be in their fucking feelings. That's the problem. When Jesus preached, he preached raw. I don't say he cussed or anything like that, but he wasn't holding back with his words. He came with it.
Support policies that are against their Lord and Savior and against what they would consider the Word of God, which is the truth. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. There's still a bunch more to get into.
The Democratic Party, and particularly white liberal women, pumped free sex feminism, sexual liberation, mass immigration, illegal aliens. This is breaking up families. They've been pumping this since the 1960s.
Sure, liberal's gonna liberal, but the thing you actually have to defend here is that Trump's a conservative. The guy. Wait, did you guys vote for Trump? By a show of hands, who here voted for Trump?
I said fuck your feelings.
Are you guys all conservative?
Definitely.
Okay, so what is Trump conserving for you guys?
This is the video.
I don't care what liberals are up to. How is he conservative?
Some fucking man.
Oh, well, hey, listen. You said you feel like Trump supporters have strayed away from conservative values, right?
By voting for Trump.
But that is the prompt.
We got this whole DSA bullshit going on. You talking about Trump supporters stupid and Trump's a king. These sons of bitches talking about destroying the Constitution entirely. Are you paying attention, man? Get out your ass, you guys. You lefties, you Karens, you betas, you Darrens, man. Get out you guys' ass. Pay the fuck attention. Damn. Fucking want to be victims all the time. And Obama's a fucking victim. Talking about some have a gay professor talk to your kids. Get your stupid ass out of here. If my kids want to talk to somebody that's soft, they can talk to their grandma, their mama, their auntie, their female cousin, or their godmother. They ain't no fucking gay dude to talk to. Goof ass out of here. And then, so this whole thing about it is you guys supposed to be Christians. You know what I'm saying? Forgive me for cussing too much, but I'm letting it all out. It's my channel. But you guys supposed to be Christians out here, but you guys cool with the gay shit. All sin is bad, period. There ain't no level of what sin is. Sin is bad. Cussing is bad. The Bible says cussing is bad, is bad. Certain sins you can't take back. You killing somebody, you can't take that back. That's crazy. But other than that, sin is sin. And that shit ain't right. They want to read to your kids all this gay shit. You cool with that? They want to be in your bathroom with your wife and your daughter. You cool with that? As a man, any color on the planet, you cool with a grown man in the bathroom with your wife and your kids, or any female, period. Get the fuck out of here, man. You sick then. If you cool with these people being in the bathroom with your women, let them in there then. Because other than that, you sick. You sick with them. On the real. Shit stupid as hell. Everybody on their fucking feelings. Ain't paying attention. Everything's a distraction. We know it is. But pay attention. Weave out the shit. Follow the money.
So as a Trump supporter, I'm going to tell you how I align with conservative values, because you just gave me a laundry list of something that a flawed human has done. I don't see Trump. And let me just tell you, I'm a black woman. I got good people in my family. I got killers in my
Benjamin Davis, you know what I'm saying? You came in the chat dissing me in the chat. If not just you, other people jump in the chat, playing a whole full video about 10 minutes in. They jump in 10 seconds and they want to say something stupid. So other than that, get the fuck out of here, man. Let's go.
My family. Half the people in my family on my mom's side, the men are locked up in prison.
Would you point out that's a conservative man that I would vote for?
But let me just say what I have to say. You just gave me a laundry list of something that a flawed human has done. I'm going to tell you as a conservative, the values that I align with as a conservative. Number one, family structure, tradition, upholding traditions within society. That is very important so that we stay structured and that we have boundaries in society. We need that. I know what a community is like when it doesn't have a foundation, a core foundation of tradition.
Family and structure, right?
But these are the conservative values that I
How does
align
Trump
with,
embody that?
I feel like Trump and the administration and the things that they are enacting and activating, to me, those things protect certain things, like just the basic things like a man and a woman.
What does that have to do with
everything? That literally is the basis, is the nucleus of.
If you deny who you are naturally, you're insane. Your genital tells you who you are naturally. You born with those parts. That's what you is. Anytime you gotta cut yourself or inject something into you, you are now artificial. You are not real, you idiot. You are just tempering your body. You already came perfect. You was born perfect. What the heck's wrong with you guys? Stop touching yourselves like this. Botox, extension, constantly wanna dye your hair, all this goofy shit. Crazy.
The family.
Can men and women
so when
not
you
get married if
but
they
when
think
you
that
try to
other things
confuse people on what just the basic things of life are as a man and a woman.
Yeah, you got a lot of liberals out there, and I think that lady over there would consider herself a Christian, but they're looking at the individual and they're judging, whatever he has going on in his personal life, or they're judging the way that he speaks and talks about the media. But in my opinion, the media gets exactly what they deserve when it comes to the president. But when you look at the policies, you look at the Trump accounts, you look at during his previous administration.
And then too many times, especially in Chicago, just about anywhere I've been, anytime a lesbian, a butch, a bodega, how you want to call it, a female, you know what I'm saying, when she gets into a confrontation with a man, all of a sudden at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, oh, I'm a woman. Wait, but you a stud. You got your pants sagging, you know what I'm saying? You talking heavy in the voice, you got your chest out. As soon as a dude want to fight you or something, all of a sudden now you a woman. Make it make sense, man. So stop trying to play with us, people. We know what y'all are. Y'all are confused. And y'all want to put that shit on us. No. No, you're not. Not here. Common sense.
The first time he was in, signing in the First Step Act, wages like we had never seen before, bonuses like we had never seen before, home ownership raises rose, savings accounts rose, credit card debt came down. It was about business. Everybody knows, small business has been the backbone of our country. And when you look at what's going on right now, I mean, there's a lot to undo because Democrats got in full speed ahead, did everything that they could to destroy our country. So if anybody thought that he was going to be able to get in there and just turn this big ship of a country around in a year or so, I mean, you're hustling backwards. That's not how this works. But when you look at the Trump accounts, when you look at, some of the other things that are being implemented, the tariffs that, and bringing companies back and the opportunity zones and so many of these different things, the removal of men, being considered to quote unquote be able to transition in women's sports and in women's spaces, these are all common sense. Kicking, Roe v. Wade and kicking that situation back to the states and allowing the people to vote, on these things. The fact that he is actually pro-children, pro-family, anti-pregnancy termination, that's a lot. Again, we keep trying to judge the individual and their flawed lifestyle or their flawed lives. We're all flawed. We've all fallen short.
Right.
Every last one of us.
We all got a glass house.
But when you look at the policies and you look at the plan that this man is trying to implement, it's actually going to benefit. And the work is towards benefiting Americans, regardless of how much or how little melanin you have. And I'm glad to see that there's a lot of sisters out there that are standing up. White liberal women are the worst. And they are the dregs of American society at this point. If they get their way, they would just destroy the country down, even if it hurts them. That's how angry they are. They're some of the most angriest people that we have in our country.
One thing that I notice about the people that I know that are leftists, they love to bring up Trump and blame Trump any chance they can get. We can literally be talking about something that has nothing to do with politics, nothing at all. And they will find a way to weave that man's name in the conversation. Then when somebody like me comes up with a counter argument or...
And she got a point, you know what I'm saying, chat? Because the whole point of the videos I'm showing is about the democratic socialists, you know what I'm saying, trying to take over and turn America into a communist country. And I'm here to say we shouldn't do that. And but because I got a MAGA hat on, they want to jump straight about the Trump shit. I'm like, are you paying attention, man? The democratic socialists trying to take over America and destroy the Constitution. They want our women to wear hijabs, all the other BS going on. Y'all, yeah, you cool with that? You cool with them? The Ramadan? They speaking all that crazy praying stuff out late at night, praying at night when they bullhorns. How you call that shit? I'm glad it's not here in Rockford. But that's very disrespectful.
Challenges their belief or challenges something that they say, all of a sudden it's, I don't want to talk about politics anymore. This is why I don't like discussing politics. Oh, my friend.
Right, the white liberals in media told them, hey, hate Trump. They went with it. Everybody was loving Trump. Trump and everybody rap song, movie, everything. Everything Trump did back in the day, everybody wanted to be about him, talking about him. So the man said he become a Republican, he's a president. Oh, he's bad, he's racist. I'm like, are y'all serious? Y'all forget about Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe? How the man treated Clarence Thomas, bogus as hell.
You were the one that brought it up.
Yeah.
Were you not? It's one thing to not be a fan of the man. It's fine. But it's another thing to constantly be bringing that man's name up in subjects that have nothing to do with him at all. Okay, that's just flat out TDS.
Oh yeah, TDS needs to be studied, man. This sister's absolutely right. And the crazy thing is that the same people that were coming, man, Trump, they...
Right, name of the title of the video is DSA has no policy, just tax the rich. All of a sudden Trump got involved. I know I got the hat on. I'm surprised you guys even see it, but I guess it's just red, whatever. It is cool, but it's about the DSA.
You know, unsolicited conversation and dialogue around the president, and then when you start hitting them with the facts and the data,
talk about it though. They're
like, man, I don't know nothing about politics. I don't know nothing about policies. More times than not, they don't know anything about anything. But they've been trained to say everything's Trump's fault. You know. Hey, I got to get a new roof on the house because, hey, we got a leak going on. I guess it's President Trump's fault. You know, these people are crazy. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts about any of this? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification.
If you're here in America, respect America, especially if you're here visiting. There is no need for America to all of a sudden assimilate to third world countries. Bullshit. This is America. You guys coming here, you assimilate to us. Not us assimilate to you. I'm gonna play this video to show you how they very disrespectful to America and the other countries when it comes to this Islam and Muslim BS. Makes no sense, man. Come here to America and respect America. We're not gonna bow down to you guys. You crazy.
All right, so I'm sure most of you saw this video going around about these Muslim scumbags downtown Chicago this weekend, right? So in case you didn't, I want to play it to you. About a dozen people sent it to me. They've been doing this all over the United States. So watch this, all right? And I'll jump on the back end. This bullshit, we got to start protesting these Muslims. They're not here to simulate. They want us to simulate to them. They want to wrap their women in towels. They want to push that Sharia bullshit down our throats. Watch this video.
I'm here in downtown Chicago, in the exact place where we're doing a Jesus March in 1 hour. Look what's happening. A massive Muslim march is taking place right now, where for the last hour, they have been shouting verses of the Quran.
Take that crap at home and pray at home or at your church somewhere. Why y'all openly praying? That's not, you know what I'm saying? That's not about, you know what I'm saying, respecting. That's being trying to show dominance. They trying to show dominance. And not here. Take that somewhere else. Yo, that's crazy. I understand the First Amendment and all that, but these people are not trying to respect the First Amendment. They're trying to take over and get rid of the Constitution and turn America into a third world country with this BS. We never let that happen. That's why MAGA, you know what I'm saying? You guys call us a cult, but we not. They are cult. They want to give them saying have all these women and children, but at the same time, the women and children have no rights. In America, we got rights. Do you, be you. With them, you don't. I understand why you guys are going for this, falling for the okie-doke. Name's Deontay. Like, share, and subscribe. Share this message. Share this video.
They've been declaring over the city there is no God but Allah and his prophet Muhammad, and everybody will bow to him. These are things that are happening all across America. Will the church wake up? Right. When are we going to...
They believe in healing. We believe in, you know what I'm saying? We believe in healing. They believe in killing. Forgive your enemy. They want to kill your enemy. You know what I'm saying? That's not how that works. And then Jesus died on the cross for our sins. What Muhammad do for them? For whatever. Jesus died on the cross for, you know what I'm saying, for everybody, for the world. I don't understand this whole Muhammad BS going on, man. Jesus died for us.
Wake up to what is taking place. There is a spiritual war for our cities and our communities and our nation. Wake up.
What do you think about that bullshit? The city of Chicago, huh? They're sitting there talking about Allah and Muhammad and how they're taking over. Screw that shit, man. This is America. This is Chicago. These scumbags are spreading like cancer. And they're not here to assimilate. They're not here to assimilate. My grandparents came from Italy. They didn't even teach my mom and my aunts and uncles Italian. They wanted them to assimilate. These guys are taking over our cities. They want to rename them. They want to rename their streets. The strip malls, all in Arabic. They speak Arabic. They teach that crazy bullshit Sharia. They wrap their women in towels. Now, if you look at some of them, I understand why. But you know what? They're not here to assimilate. They want us to assimilate to them. So I'm going to schedule... a peaceful rally or a peaceful protest with other folks. We got to come together. We got to send a message. We're just not going to roll over, let them do their little bullshit wherever they want. I think that we're going to be sitting here with our thumbs up our ass. People have to get together, unite, and show that we're going to push back. You want to come to America? Fine. But don't fucking expect us to assimilate to your bullshit. Otherwise, get your asses back to your old... Go fuck the country. Get the fuck out of here.
USA,
man. Fuck out of here. Don't come here and push your shit. Set your fucking tents up downtown Chicago. Next thing you know, we're gonna have camels walking up and down fucking Michigan Avenue. So I'll keep.
I like seeing the horses.
I'm gonna get a bunch of groups together and we're gonna figure this out.
Get that shit off. Just want to share that with you guys. You got to wake up, man. The Democrat Party on BS. They allowing this DSA BS to go on, and we got to stop it. Stop it now. Vote red, period. From here on out, midterms, from here on out, just vote red. Bring back common sense. Most of all, respect each other, love each other. Thanks for stopping by. Name is Deontay. Like, share, and subscribe.
Subscribe.
I am not interested in that at all. Socialism. Raising the taxes.
Medicare free and universal if you increase taxes. So if you are elected and make this push, would you need to increase taxes?
As I've said across this campaign, I am for taxing billionaires their wealth.
What about people who make less than $1 billion and less than $1 million, though, Dr. El-Sayed? What about people making less than $1 million?
So for the average person, and you look at your W-2, if you're an employee, he gets paid every 2 weeks or 4 weeks. After you pay your taxes, the next biggest check that comes off the top of your pay stub is to your health insurance company. So imagine instead of paying that to your health insurance company, whose CEO makes $20 million a year, instead you paid a little bit more in taxes for healthcare that you wouldn't lose if you lost your job or turned 26 or got married or got divorced. I think all of us would be a lot more interested in that that kind of a system if we knew that our healthcare would be free at the point of care and would be free without having to worry about losing it in general. So there's an opportunity here, I think, to trade what we give to a big corporation who gets to decide who we get to see and who we don't for a little bit more paid into FICA. And I think that's a trade that's worth making. I think the broader public understands that that's a trade worth making, considering how many people are holding medical debt, a third of all Michigan households right now.
Just to be very clear, you're describing this trade-off. You are effectively acknowledging that people making less than $1 million could see their taxes go up. I just want to be very clear. Is that a yes?
I'm saying that we'd be paying for healthcare in a different way. Instead of paying a health insurance company whose CEO makes $20 million, I would much rather pay for durable healthcare into a government, which, of course, we all know provides healthcare for seniors who need healthcare the most. So if I'm trading paying a CEO to make more money or paying government to guarantee me healthcare.
What's going on, everybody? I appreciate you guys pulling up and hanging out with me for a little bit today. This is Abdul Rahman Muhammad El Sayed, doctor, that is, who, it's really funny because a lot of these people that are a part of the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, or let's just call them the communist wing of the Democrat Party, most of these people hadn't actually held jobs. So this dude's a doctor, but he's not actually a practicing doctor, physician, whatever you want to call him. And he basically has come out and said, yeah, we plan on raising the taxes. And we want the government to do the job that the private sector has done in our country for a very, very long time. The last time we had healthcare reform in our country, healthcare got worse and it got more expensive. Every time the government gets involved in an industry, the service gets worse and it gets more expensive. So if you think that, oh, you're not going to pay that much for healthcare, and the healthcare is going to be great, you're going to be able to be seen, when you actually need to be seen. How about you ask the Canadians? How about you ask the Canadians how that government ran, healthcare is? How about you ask them? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel.
Absolute dog shit. It's actually insane that people say that, oh, it's free healthcare. It's the worst healthcare imaginable. I strained my groin in May, okay? In May. I got an ultrasound recently. They're like, okay, you have a hernia and a groin strain. Cool. They're like, you can go to the clinic, the surgeon, to go do a consultation. Cool. Go to the surgeon. Oh, your hernia is actually not bad enough for us to do surgery. Okay, cool. I haven't been able to run or do anything lower body or be at all active, and I'm in constant pain for the last 6 months, but okay, it's not bad enough for you. So they're like, oh, but what you can do is you can go the private route. I'm like, okay, cool. How does that look? They're like, okay, go to this website. Go to the website, contact them. They're like, oh, I see that you selected that you wanted to have this done in Ontario. You can't actually do it in Ontario because that's your home province, but what is allowed is if you want to go to another province. So if I live in Ontario, I can go get private done in Quebec. And if I'm in Quebec, I can't get it. If I lived in Quebec, I wouldn't have been able to do it there. I would have to go to Ontario because it's only if you do it out of province is it allowed. How stupid is this? What does that make? So I'm going to have to drive to another province entirely just to get some decent air around here? It's actually insane. And they're like, okay, like your ultrasound, it didn't show anything here, but now let's go for an MRI, and they'll call you and it'll be sometime in the next 6 months. What the how is this actually a real society where like people actually live? And to be fair to the healthcare, like I see people going to the hospital every time they have a so like it is hard, but at the same time it's like this is not efficient. This is not effective. This should not be the way that we live. Like everybody who hates on the American system, I will tell you, in my time in America, when I went to any sort of doctor, hospital, anything, it is a world-class experience. So yes, you pay out of pocket a little bit, but you pay for it here through your taxes. That's what people don't realize. It's not actually free. You pay through it with your taxes. And it is extremely inefficient and ineffective.
No, the difference is socialized medicine. Anytime you get the government involved, it doesn't work. You just seen this dude out in Canada explain what he couldn't pay for it without driving a long distance, and they're being taxed into oblivion up there for healthcare that If you need an MRI, you're 6 months down the line. Do you know how many people die in Canada because they can't actually get care? Because if you do have an issue, you're 6 to 12 months before you can actually be seen by anybody that could solve whatever your health issue is. And they want to bring that foolishness here. It's just another way for the government to get in, take more money from you. Because, and at that point, you don't even get to vote with your dollars in this socialized. They're going to take it from you and they're going to give you what they think makes the most sense for you. And more times than not, every time the government gets involved in anything, it's terrible. And there's no incentive for the people who provide the service to provide you a quality service because they're going to get paid no matter what. We don't want it. We do not want it. You have people in Canada coming down here to just pay out of pocket for service. Because at least they can be seen. This dude said it. Hey, down in America, yeah, you got to pay a little bit. And to be honest with you, it wasn't like this prior to the Affordable Care Act that is not affordable. It wasn't like this. Insurance premiums were cheaper. The deductibles were cheaper. Now, insurance premiums have gone up. Deductibles have gone up. The service isn't as good, but Lord knows we don't want government in the middle and in the business of healthcare wholeheartedly for the American people. We're not interested in it, man. Do not support this foolishness.
For certain is that El Sayed is making it easier. Why? Because he is inconsistent with Michiganders of either side of the aisle, by the way. Someone who wants to defund police, defund ICE, who wants to abolish our concept of a border. He's just wrong for Michigan.
And I saw your early attack ads against him. You're using his full name in these attack ads, which has gotten some attention. Abdul Rahman Mohammed El Sayed. He goes by Abdul El Sayed. Are you trying to say hint to voters he's Muslim?
Not at all. What we're saying what we're only saying to voters is a simple thing. He says he's the most dangerous candidate you can find. He's right. We should trust his words, not ours.
But why not just use his name, Abdul El Sayed, which he goes by?
Well, listen, I go by Timothy Eugene, and so I get called that all the time. Here's what I know for that question. It's about what he stands for. And we're going to focus and bring attention to the fact that not only is he sympathetic for Hamas, not only does he run around with Hassan Pike or someone who said that Americans deserve 9/11, he should be held account for exactly where he stands and what he's for.
I agree with the senator here. He's absolutely right. And I'm a firm believer that, when people show you who they are, believe them. You listen to them. Now, he's trying to walk back some of these statements, but he is walking hand in hand with Hassan Piker, who is a enemy to America. He does not like our way of life and the way that we do business here. For the life of me, I don't understand why he won't go back to Turkey. I understand that he was born here, but he was raised in Turkey. Take your behind back there. Go implement that stuff. I do not understand these people that come from other countries, or were raised in other countries, and you want to come here to America. Those of us that are Americans, again, we're not saying that our country is perfect or without flaw, but what we do know is that our country and our system is the best system in the world. That's why we have so many people that want to come over here. But if you don't like it, sir, take your butt back to where you were raised at. I don't understand people like this.
Those commercials are running now, and his lawn signs are everywhere. But they're thin, like his resume. Paper thin. Let me explain.
Became a doctor to help people.
He's not a real doctor, he's a paper doctor. He doesn't have a license, he never had a patient, he can't even give away aspirin off an ambulance.
He rebuilt the health department after the politicians tore it down.
As far as I could tell, he's only had 2 real jobs in his life. First, he stopped here in the city of Detroit, had a quick cup of coffee as the city health director. While there, money through his department was funneled into the pet program of Mayor Mike Duggan's mistress, one designed to reduce infant mortality.
This is a terrible situation.
And after just 16 months on the job, Abdul got gone. The Duggan mistress scandal exploded after he tried to destroy the evidence, and infant mortality It went through the roof.
That's the Abdul way, baby.
A couple years later, he gets the top medical gig with Wayne County.
Got thousands of glasses for kids, including me.
Yeah, glasses with Biden bucks. That's not a fix.
Medicare for All would be the de facto insurer for everybody.
Medicare for all? Like Canada? It's so bad over there, they come here for a doctor. Medicare for all. Come on, man. Time to...
Yeah, this dude right here, that was a great ad. I love this. He called him out and exposed him, and that's what needs to happen. People like this, they need to be exposed. And there's a running theme, with these DSA folks. They got a lot of education, very little work. A lot of education, very little work history. It seems like that's a running theme with these people. Don't you find that interesting?
Capitalism. Socialism. Why is that? You're going to pay taxes anyway in this country, and I'd rather see the taxes go to things that help everybody.
I prefer socialism.
Why is that?
Because I think the American dream is everyone being equal.
Socialism or capitalism?
Socialism, my dude. Give everyone what they need and everyone survives.
Socialism or capitalism?
Socialism. Let's change it up a little bit, right? Let's try something else, something new.
Socialism or capitalism? There's a lot in socialism we can really learn from to grow our country.
We just see socialism as a bad thing, but it really isn't.
Socialism or capitalism? Capitalism, because I believe that you should be rewarded based on how hard you work. Capitalism or socialism?
Capitalism, baby. Socialism has never worked anywhere in the world. It will never work. My mother and father fled Albania.
That sound crazy, Ben. What? When Trump collapsed the economy and housing is cheap, I'll buy a house. What? Oh, okay. Let's see what you on. TDS.
When I was 11 years old.
What was life like there?
Horrible. We had no running water. We had no electricity. We had no toilets. We had nothing. We barely had anything to eat.
The people who actually experience socialism, who experience communism, they're like, oh, heck no. And you
done after the Iran war. What you mean by that? How you done after the Iran war? It's been going on for 47 years. It's time somebody blow their shit up. So you must was cool with Biden and in the Ukraine. You must got you a Ukraine pin, Ben. That's what it is. Ben got a Ukraine pin in his bio, a flag.
These weak, lazy Americans who think that the government will save them and take care of them. Sad, man. Sad.
The DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, has released their political platform for 2026. And it's nuts. They're nuts. That's all I can say. It's like, you go read it for yourself. They're promising free everything to everybody. And they don't understand. They say, people say this, we might be dreamers, but we don't understand why we can't do this. Well, I can tell you. And that's the thing. I'm actually thinking about doing a separate video about it. It has occurred to me that you hear this all over the place, even here, that socialism never worked, and it hasn't. But the thing is, no one ever talks about specifically why it doesn't work. And we have economists on the show, and I try to get them to talk about that. But, it's so obvious to them, they really can't get down into the weeds and talk about it. And I'm starting to think that maybe somebody needs to do a video. Excuse me. And of course, I'm not going to write a book. I could, but the thing is, the video is my thing, so I'd rather narrate.
I think the video, somebody needs to do it, and I think it would be phenomenal. Lord knows, if they did it, I would show it. Maybe we have to do a full live stream about it, watch it, and discuss it. But people need to see this. These are old ideas that have been tried before that has never worked.
Never worked.
I don't think people understand that this communist ideology has cost hundreds of millions of lives. Everywhere that they have attempted this, people have died. Everywhere that they have attempted this, people live in squalor. The majority live in squalor. You have a 1% of quote unquote government folks and elites that have everything, and everybody else is left to fend for themselves. And yet you have college campuses full of these daggone Marxist professors who are indoctrinating our young people, because the majority of people, who support people like El Said and who support this socialist communist movement, the majority of them have college degrees, meaning they have been indoctrinated. Those that have not
What part of Illinois then, Ben?
gone to college do not have degrees.
I'm from Chicago.
Most of them are anti-socialism. So that right there lets you know that honestly, a couple of things need to happen. First and foremost, the federal government has to get out of the business of subsidizing student loans so any and everybody can just go to college. And the other thing is that
Cook County,
don't send your kids to these schools. Do not send your kids to these colleges. They don't come back productive citizens. They come back indoctrinated fools.
This is exactly what El Sayed and these limousine socialists are actually selling to the American people. They're not promising you industry. They're not promising you good jobs. They're not promising self-sufficiency in a good industrial economy. What they're promising is redistribution. Again, we've seen this in Europe and in the United States. The idea that you can build real prosperity by just redistributing assets from one group to another group, that's not how you build real prosperity. You have to actually sustain the foundation of the economy. That is what the President of the United States has worked us towards for the past 18 months. It's going to continue to pay dividends. But I think, again, Laura, this is an important point. A lot of Americans look at this rising tide of socialism and say, how did we get here? We got here by 40 years of bipartisan leaders selling our industrial base to foreign countries, allowing low-wage immigrants to come in and compete with Americans for jobs, by destroying the foundation of the middle class. That's how you got socialism. How you fix that problem is by doubling down on Donald Trump's economic nationalism, not going back to the way we've done things for the past 4 years.
It's failed everywhere it's tried.
It's failed everywhere it's tried, and it always leads to socialism. It always leads exactly where we are. The only way to get out of it is to double down on the economics of the past 18 months.
Hey, the choice is clear. You cannot support the Democrats. You cannot support the communist wing of America. I know some people don't like J.D. Vance. Others, are more in favor of Rubio. But whoever it is in 2028, it has to be whoever wins on the Republican ticket, and in the Senate in this upcoming election here for 2026, in the midterms, we have to make sure that we get out and vote, and we got to make sure that Republicans are winning. Democrats want to destroy our nation. Simple as that. They want government to be in charge of every aspect of your life. I'm not interested in that. I am not interested in that at all.
Socialism is now on the ballot across America. So how did we get here? Let's start back in 2016. Bernie Sanders is running for president. He starts this nationwide movement. Instead of just ripping it apart, the Democrats force him out of the race, and then we know what happens from there. They did the same thing in 2020, by the way. 2018, AOC takes down an establishment Democrat, Joe Crowley. He was a part of the leadership, chairman of a committee. She takes him out. In 2025, they needed more reinforcements. No one thought he could win in New York City, but Madami wins with the help of social media. And if you look at the
So one of the things that has been happening more recently is that now that, a lot of these primaries are over and these DSA candidates or these communist candidates have actually won their races, a lot of them and, Democrats like AOC, Bernie Sanders, and others are backtracking on a lot of their stances because they realize in order to win a general, they can't say a lot of the things that they were saying, or they have to pretend like they don't, support things like defund the police and all this other crazy lunatic stuff. And so you're seeing a lot of them do a whole lot of backtracking, which is what AOC recently did. And we're going to hop right on into it. I'm not going to bury the lead here. Let's jump right on into AOC on ABC.
Welcome to the chat, Margaret.
Backtracking like crazy. It's hilarious. Make sure you guys smack that like button, subscribe if you are new. And let's get into it.
Yep,
we have
Wisconsin coming up next.
Francesca Hong, who is the
20 people in the chat named Deontay. Like, share, and subscribe. Welcome. Common Sense channel. I'm MAGA. Doesn't mean you gotta be. You're welcome to the channel. Let's get it. Facts over feelings. And fuck your feelings also. Let's get it.
Democratic Socialists of America supporting candidate
for governor. You haven't endorsed her. Are you going to?
No, I haven't endorsed in that race. My focus has been in winning back the Congress, winning back the House, and positioning ourselves to have the best chance possible to win the Senate. So I've been focused on those legislative races.
What do you make of those controversial statements? I'm sure you've seen. I mean, she's...
We go with the word salad.
You know, the Thanksgiving dust up. She says she doesn't, still believe that, but...
I love how when Democrats are, put in the hot seat, like when Graham Plattner, right, was going through all of his nonsense. When you would ask some of these Democrats, they'd say, well, I'm focused on blah, 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 as if they can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Like they're acting like they're so focused on, this race or this other race that they don't know about what's going on with Graham Plattner, or she doesn't know what's going on with Francesca Hung. Yeah, you do. You know exactly what is happening. Stop with this nonsense. Well, I'm focused on blah, blah, blah. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. We're not idiots, okay? All right? And if you can't, then maybe you shouldn't be in D.C. if you can't focus on multiple things at once. So which one is it? Right? There needs to be a little more pushback against these Democrats using that as an excuse to not answer some of these questions. But go ahead.
The abolished prisons, abolished police, which is also positions that have been taken by a lot of the progressive candidates who have won.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get around that?
Yeah.
Those are not positions that are supported by...
Right. I mean, I think that a lot of these races, even right now, they'll have a tendency.
You know what I'm saying? With AOC, she's not from the Bronx. And when it came to, I guess, the Democrat people looking for somebody or a face for the Democrats, whatever, her brother selected her to be a part of it. And she got selected, and now here she is. She ain't even trying to be a politician. She's just literally an actress and selected. It's a video on TikTok. I might have it saved in my bookmark on X. I think I played it yesterday, I believe. But yeah, they all actors, man. These guys are fake field actors. And now they politicians. With no credible background, just popped in the scene, and also now they elected. Because they sound good and they look good. Or it's based on race. That's crazy. Check these people out for you guys to vote on. We did. Trump campaigned every goddamn day. When Joe Biden was in the goddamn basement. Like, where was Sleepy Joe at? In the basement, eating ice cream. Trump was everywhere.
Tendency to be nationalized.
Yeah.
But these races ultimately are local, and all politics are local. My understanding is that is that Francesca Hong has made clear her present stances to her electorate.
Yeah, she's moved away from a lot of that.
She's.
Hey Ben, once again, I'm Deontay. I used to work in Chicago, and I was security in Chicago. I had a security at Austin High School, right there on Pine. And they was lying about the kids' graduation as far as their grades, and their attendance was terrible. But they let them go ahead and go. These kids cannot read. They didn't know. They can't read the clock, and they can't read an analog clock. It's sad, but they graduated them anyway, man. If you ain't fighting school, you graduate, and that's real messed up with Chicago public schools. And I was there for about 5.5 years. I seen the BS. I seen them crunch the numbers, lying. Kids supposed to be suspended. They can't get suspended. Just let them come on back. They come on back, fight again. Like, are you serious? Like, what is you doing? I mean, I want the kids to learn. I really want the kids to go home. But ain't no parents there to make sure they stay at home and do their work. And if the parents are at home, shit, the kids down running around the streets. They ain't learning nothing. The parents ain't learning nothing. The parents getting drunk and high. And then you know how people are in Chicago. If you're from Chicago, you know what I'm saying, or close to Chicago, you got Washington Park and you got Garfield Park. And both of these places, you know what I'm saying, you go and you get your fix. You get your drunk and your high on. And most of these parents right now, as I'm on this YouTube thing right now, they partying in the parks right now and getting fucked up. While their kids running around, mugged up, doing teen takeovers and shit. It's the parents too. They're getting drunk and high.
moved away from it. And I have a local city councilman that has this saying, woke one was crazy. And I think that what's important is that we have to assess what
Was it? I mean, did the movement go too far with some of those positions? I mean, you briefly supported the idea of defunding the police.
Well, you know, I think that during this time and especially during COVID, there was a huge opening of the Overton window. We were shut down. There was some of the highest unemployment rates that we have seen because of those shutdowns. Yeah. And I think that the doors were really open in trying to entertain any and every policy that was going to get us to a better place. And I actually think that the discussions that were had in that time were quite fruitful. I think that when we talk about crime today, it's fundamentally different than the way that we talked about crime in bringing crime down, right? And I think that we all share in the goals of having as low a crime rate as possible. I think that, you know, during lockdown.
No, we do not. No, we don't.
No.
And the proof is in the pudding. The proof.
Right. Well, as far as proof in the pudding part, I know what you mean, what you're going to say. But my thing is, the freaking mandates. They mandate us to stay at home. You couldn't see your relatives. While the red states was thriving, red states had their stores open, visiting each other, schools was open. Blue states in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? You got to stay at home. Stay at home. Only thing I liked about it when it came to the COVID thing, I was working there. They was giving out bag of lunches, you know, hot meals and cold meals for the kids. That's what they needed. I'm not knocking nobody that's on EBT or Section 8. I'm knocking the parents that's not doing better. Yeah, I get you on it, but how long you gonna stay on it? Because that's BS. Anybody holding you back? Just as much you got your ID, as much you went down there to the place to file for application to get the shit you got, that much energy you can take to get an application, get a job. All the energy you take to go get all this paperwork to get you a SNAP or Section 8, take that same energy to get you a job. Shit, I do a 12-hour shift job. I don't like to do it, but it pays the bills. And I get 4 days off. So I'm like, you know what? Hey, it's what it is. I'm ready to do another job. I'm gonna still work this job and do security. And still do this. That's 3 jobs then. I don't care about getting this money. Because when I get this money, I'm gonna do things I want to do. Nobody's gonna tell me, no, you can't do that. You can't buy you a Red Bull. You know what I'm saying? You guys want the government to tell you what to do. Daddy government. Y'all talking about us, Daddy Trump and Uncle Trump stuff. You guys love the government. You guys love your Nancy Pelosi's, your Chuck Schumers. You know what I'm saying? You guys love them. You love the chaos.
To the pudding. You look at these Democrat-run places versus Republican-led places, completely different. Completely different. You look at the policies, completely different. Democrats believe in abolishing the police. Democrats believe in getting rid of jail.
Okay, well, I got kids. Second time being married, and I got 4 boys. So I already know how expensive that is.
Democrats believe in unfettered number of chances. That's not the Republican stance. The Democrat policies lead to more crime.
You got 3, I got 4.
Republican policies don't lead to more crime.
It's
facts. It's just facts. So don't try to make it seem like we're one and the same. We are not in the same boat at all.
Not like us.
I mean, granted, we're in the American boat, but outside of that, nah, bruh. No, sir. Not gonna try that here. See how she backtracking on? It's crazy.
They got to.
Of course, rhetoric in that time is not rhetoric that we would use today. And I'm grateful that these candidates have the opportunity to present who they are to their electorate and what they're campaigning on in this moment.
Because you know, and obviously the Democratic Socialists of America are having quite a moment. But you know how Republicans are responding. Let me just give you a brief sampling.
Sure.
Let's call it what it is.
It's communism.
The Commie Caucus is coming to Congress.
Communism is on the ballot this November.
We're
not going to turn this country into a communist experiment.
Well, you kind of get a sense of the theme, and obviously the president has said the same thing. But by the way, just a quick definitional thing. What, in your mind, is the difference between socialism and communism?
I think to me, the fundamental differences, there's many.
Yeah.
One prevailing one is democracy. And I believe that democratic socialists are fundamentally pro-democracy, and we believe in the ballot box. We believe in ensuring that the ideas.
Just said the same thing. But by the way, just a quick definitional thing. What, in your mind, is the difference between socialism and communism?
I think to me, the fundamental differences, there's many.
Yeah.
One prevailing one is democracy. And I believe that democratic socialists are fundamentally pro-democracy, and we believe in the ballot box. We believe in respecting the outcomes of elections and governing democratically, and ensuring that the ideas and policies that are implemented are won through popular vote and popular opinion. And so I think that's why so much of what we focus on is also making sure that we are providing for the majority of Americans, guaranteeing health care, raising wages, strengthening the right to a union. And I think that that's at its core what we're about.
Are you still a member of Democratic Socialists of America?
Of the New York City chapter.
The New York City chapter, not the national.
Kamala Harris 2.0. What the fuck was she saying? What did she say, you guys? Nothing. Just a mouth breather.
And what's the difference?
So every DSA chapter is formed locally.
Yeah.
And so the New York City DSA chapter, those are folks that you know. It's kind of like your local union chapter.
Yeah.
So,
because I
blah, blah.
Yeah, she would definitely lose any debate. You know what I'm saying? A third grader would beat her in the debate. You know what I'm saying? She's an actor. All you gotta do is give her a teleprompter or a script. She'll read that. But even when she went overseas, remember earlier this summer, she went overseas and they asked her a question and she did a Kamala Harris and said something stupid. It made no sense what they were talking about, what they asked her. Yeah, she's an embarrassment. So the Republicans are going to bring that video back up of her. They're going to bring that video up, how she embarrassed herself on the world stage. They're going to bring it up. The internet never forgets, never forgive. Ultra MAGA for life, baby. I see you, black guy, now. Ultra MAGA for life, baby. On the real. Let's continue.
Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm just subscribed to the local chapter. What the fuck does that mean?
Don't know.
Well, it's just the local just the local people. Well, duh. You still embrace the same policies.
Idiot.
These people, well, and we believe in democracy. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you just look at the Democrat Party,
Green for president.
look what they did with Kamala Harris. Did anyone vote to have Kamala Harris as their nominee last go around? No, not at all. Leadership said, hey, this who y'all about to get, Kamala. And that's who they got. And they lost miserably because of it. Well, one of the reasons. I shouldn't say just because of that. They lost for a multitude of reasons, but yeah. Are you subscribed to the DSA? Yeah, just a local chapter. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing.
Hey, Millie won. You say Carson Green for president. Well, the Hill said Tucker Carlson is not running for president. Green. Representative Green denied rumors that Tucker Carlson will run for president, calling for a two-party system is a failure. Did you know that? I guess you didn't. You just want to jump in the chat and say something stupid. Look at this. See how fast I was able to Google that shit and debunk what you just said? That's crazy. Green said Carson has no plans to become a presidential candidate. Marjorie Taylor Greene dismissed claims. Wow. Wow. Because of that, I'm going to do this. What is it? I'm going to do what I want to do this. Let's remove.
Absolutely nothing, because the policies are exactly the same. You see this with a lot of these folks when it comes to this DSA question, right? They'll say, yeah, just
as of right now, it says a day ago. What else they saying? 2 days ago, a week ago, that Tucker Carlson is not going to run. Period. So where you getting your sources from? It's right in front of me. What I'm looking at. I got The Hill. You got CBS. You got YouTube. You got Yahoo. You got Independent. You got Telegraph. What you got, man?
just the local chapter. Just local.
Welcome to the chat.
As if that is any better.
See again? See what I'm saying, chat? People like this person to jump in the chat and not know what's going on and say the most stupid shit ever. The chat is about DSA tweaking about the Constitution and destroying America with this communist socialist BS. And this person talking about some fucking Tucker Carlson and Green. Like, really, bro? Like, what the fuck? Why are you here? Everybody's welcome to my channel. Because I'm MAGA doesn't mean you can't come to the channel. Because I'm MAGA doesn't mean you all of a sudden become a troll. Because if you become a troll, I'm going to troll you back. I'm going to embarrass you. That shit's stupid as hell. Some fucking Tucker Carlson and Green. This video got nothing to do with that. And fuck both of them. Who cares? Pay attention to the video, man. Welcome to the chat. Fuck your feelings. Let's go.
These folks ain't slick, man. Not slick at all. Not slick at all. And you know, I'm happy that even someone like Chris Christie is calling these folks out on their backtracking. They backtracking faster than I don't know. What's an elite NFL cornerback? They backtracking faster than Deion Sanders in his prime. They running backwards way, real fast away from that DSA title. Faster than Deion Sanders in his prime.
At least like, subscribe, you know what I'm saying, to the channel. Millie One. That was stupid as hell.
Prime time.
Yeah, look, and I listened really carefully to what Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez said this morning. Every position that Scott just laid out, when you presented it to her, she talked about backing off, changing her views, evolving views.
Woke one was crazy.
Woke one was crazy, which we never heard her say before. Look, I think the Congressman put it correctly, that there's two parts to this. It's what are you talking about, and do we trust what you're saying? And after listening to the Congresswoman, why should anyone trust her? The things that she has said previously now, when she senses that she didn't know what she was talking about, and she was out of touch and with the American people, and now wants to advance her career, now all of a sudden she's saying different things. And I have to say, when you played the Francisca Hong part, I can tell you this: the Republican Governors Association is giddy over what will happen on Tuesday, because we're going to hold people like her and the Congresswoman to what they've said over their careers, not what they're trying to conveniently evolve into now.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm not even a big Chris Christie fan. Not a Chris Christie fan at all, to be completely honest. But he's right. And that's exactly what we should do.
What they say, a clock is twice. The clock is right twice a day. You know what I'm saying? 6, 7.
Hold them accountable for what they have been saying and not what they want to say now simply because it's election time. No. You are not about to pull that one on us. Absolutely the F not. No, it's not happening. Y'all been saying all this yip yap and jaw jack about defund the police, get rid of the Senate, get back the Supreme Court, presidents get chosen by Congress. all of this nonsense, this crap, defund the military, basically. Like what? Like bro? China and Russia is like, oh yeah, please defund your own military, please. So when we want to invade it, ain't a whole lot y'all boys gonna be able to do about it. You're not about to back away from all of that now, simply because. No. We have been tricked once with Abigail Spanberger in Virginia. Okay, she ran as a moderate, and as soon as she got in office, far left. I mean, just took off to the left. Took off to the left. She ran faster than Usain Bolt in his prime towards the left. Faster than Usain Bolt, and that's a fast brother right there. Okay. But she ran faster than Usain Bolt, further to the left. As soon as she got elected, but she ran as a moderate. Right? So, no, it's not happening again. And I hope Chris Christie and the others, actually do that. Hold them accountable, 100%. Because I'm going to, for sure. But hopefully, on mainstream media, when folks like Chris Christie get on there, because, of course, they gonna let Chris Christie on, for sure. Hopefully he holds these folks accountable like he just did there. But as always, get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Thank you for all of the...
Suck it up. Defunding the police has to happen. Suck it up. Defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police.
Mayor Eric Garcetti saying, take some of the money from policing, about $150 million.
I applaud Eric Garcetti for doing what he's done.
Not only do we need to disinvest in police, but we need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Name is Deontay. Welcome. Thank you guys. Been screaming about 2 hours and 5 minutes. Let's continue.
So yes, defund your butts. Defund you.
Yes, I support the reallocation of resources from NYPD.
We will be moving funding from the NYPD to youth initiatives and social services.
They are talking about reducing the allocation of resources to that department, and I think every single city in this country ought to be thinking about the same thing. Yes, I support the defund movement. I'm for responsible reallocation of resources.
And defund the police.
I think you do all those other things, you don't need all the money that's going to the police department. So yeah, I mean, the spirit of it, I do support that.
Yeah, and a lot of us were asked if we could imagine a future without police back in 2017 when we were running for office. And I answered yes to that question.
We are going to reduce funding in the police department and redirect that money.
There's no reason the police budget should just keep growing and growing and growing. They can make sensible cuts to policing.
We propose to redirect over $7 million from the police bureau.
That our city, through our city administrative officer, identified $250 million in cuts.
Rashida Tlaib tweeting, no more policing, incarceration, and militarization. It can't be reformed.
When they're saying defund the police, what are they saying? They're saying we want fundamental, basic change when it comes to policing.
I wanted to do something a little bit different today because I came across a video earlier and
doing well. Thanks,
gave me a great idea.
Appreciate it, man.
And I want to highlight today some of our great...
Yeah, I'm doing well. Me and the wife went to a co-worker's wedding. It was real nice. A nice turnout. Good food. Me and the wife, we danced all night. It was on a Saturday. It was good times. I'm glad he finally got married. It's been 22 years. I'm glad he finally got together. 22 years, finally. Let's continue.
Brave, folks in the police force who put their lives on the line every single day. They don't know who they're walking up on or anything like that. Police officers die all the time, right? I'm thinking of a video right now of a police officer dying after he was trying to help a guy, and the guy ended up, pulling out an assault rifle and going to town with it, unfortunately. But I got a couple of videos that I want to highlight. All right, we're gonna break things up a little bit. I mean, it had a little bit. It does kind of tie into politics because, of course, you know, Democrats want to defund the police. They want to get rid of the police, as you guys saw in that first clip there. But just wanted to do something a little different today. All right, let's jump into it, shall we? Here's the first clip I got for you.
Lieutenant Mike Hotz was called to Victory Memorial Bridge in Nashville amid reports that a man was live streaming his plans to jump. And this, what happened next, was caught on Hotz's body camera.
Hey man, my name's Mike. Can I just holler at you? It ain't shit time to tell me right now, man. Okay. I hear you're frustrated. I just want to help you talk through this worst day of your life. And I know it is. I just want you to know that you're a good man, and I don't think you're a bad man.
Yeah, Kathy's a great wedding, man. It's really nice.
I just want you to feel like you are loved here, because you are. Can I come shake your hand? I'm not going to try nothing crazy. I'll step right back when I'm done. I promise you. To the Lord himself. Can I shake your hand? And I'll step right back.
And so I'm putting a little bit more context with the whole wedding situation. So the wife and I, we have been living in Rockford about going on 3 years now. And the job I got, I've been with them working 3 years. So I have no idea who these people are. I don't know them. They don't know me. I don't know nobody out here. One person I really know is my little brother and his wife and kids. That's it. I ain't totally clueless about Rockford. But long story short, I've been working with him for a while. And met the wife, met each other, you know what I'm saying? Good people, met his wife and everything, you know. And either way it go, he's white and his wife is Mexican. It's a mixed couple. A lot of people wasn't invited. Some people was invited. But the fact he invited me and my wife to go to the wedding, it was cool as hell. It was nice, you know. He said he's gonna eventually tie the knot, but I'm glad they finally did it. That's what's up. But once again, the color to me doesn't matter, but it's just the fact that, you know, I came to Rockford, nobody don't know me, I don't know them, and me and my wife got invited. Good people. But once again, I got black neighbors. All we do is say hi and bye, and that's it. But the white neighbors to my right, we go barbecuing, kayaking, good times. No problems. It's crazy how this shit is. Other than that, love everybody. Let's continue.
You good? I love you. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right.
Unbelievable, right? Lieutenant Mike Hotz is with us now. And Lieutenant, I know we can hear you. I think we're having an issue with seeing you in our signal, but we can see this video of you, which I think is...
Another situation comes to back to the whole wedding thing. A few years before we had moved out here into Rockford, my wife, she does home care. And one of her clients, before he passed away, he invited me to his house to watch the Super Bowl. And then after we had watched the Super Bowl, before he passed away, his niece had a wedding. And we went to the wedding. And when we went to the wedding, it was a cop's wedding. It was none but CPD, FBI, and other agencies there. And that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, mama had a gun on them. And I felt real safe. And guess what color they were? It was all white. It was an all-white wedding. You know what I'm saying? It was all cops. It was me and my wife, and I think maybe one or two other couples there. Had a great time. We danced our ass off. I don't drink now, but that time I was drinking. We were drinking Jameson and cranberry. Had a great time. And so then about it is, too, the people, I thought by them being white, they drink Jameson. They're like, what is this? I'm like, Jameson. You never heard Jameson? Yeah, Irish. You know what I'm saying? Good shit. Got them hooked on it. And they still drinking and stuff to this day. That's been, what, maybe going on 7 years now? Like I said, I don't drink no more, but this is crazy. We had a good time at the wedding. Dancing, And then after the wedding, they gave us a room to stay. So they left and gave us the room. Me and my wife stayed at the room. And I think the next day we had breakfast there as well. So it was just nice. It's not about color, man. It's about the character. And that's what they saw about me and my wife. We good people. We got good character. We don't care about color. We just want to kick it, have a good time. What's up, beautiful Bill? What's up? What's up? Yeah, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's not about color. It's not about color. We had a great time. I was just gonna show you guys the video and all that, but I can't, you know. But let's continue.
The most important thing here is just unbelievable. Tell us more about how this unfolded and how you approached this as this, you know, obviously went in a direction that we all would hope it would go.
This individual was on a social media platform live streaming, and several citizens called in out of concern because he was making statements that he was going to commit suicide, and we were dispatched, and after a couple minutes we were able to pinpoint his exact location, and as it happened, I was the first vehicle that rolled up on scene.
And what was your approach going in? What was going through your mind as to how you wanted to connect with him? Because obviously you're trying to use compassion and empathy within yourself to convince him to not do the unthinkable, right? And I imagine at that moment he is feeling a lot of strain and frustration, and you were able to connect with that. I wonder how.
I just wanted to empathize with him, let him know that I was there to listen, let him know that we cared and that he wasn't in any kind of trouble, that we just wanted to help him through the worst moment of the worst day of his life.
And I know you're a combat veteran. Obviously, there's such a mental health crisis and also a suicide crisis that's happening with our veterans that demands so much of our attention. Did that inform your approach to him at all as you were thinking maybe about other people that you'd served with?
It absolutely did. My experience in the military definitely informed some of the actions I took. Veterans are disproportionately affected by suicide and mental health issues, and combat veterans doubly so, if not more. And I've encountered several individuals, several of my brothers and sisters who have gone through crisis moments, and I just wanted to draw upon those moments and focus them all on this individual at this specific time, at this day, and bring about a safe resolution to the situation.
Kudos to that officer, man. Fantastic job. Fantastic job. But, you know, of course, if you listen to the left, if you listen to these far leftists, you know, cops are bad. Cops are horrible people. But you just saw there a cop save someone's life. All right? I got another one for you. Check it out.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm pregnant, I'm homeless, and I'm drug addict, and I'm done.
Okay. So you're trying to get treatment?
Yeah. But I have no way to get there.
Which location do you have to go to?
The one on Jenkins and I Street.
Okay. There's stuff in the back of my car. Just put it right here. You have anything in your pockets or anything?
Just a phone.
Okay. You want to go get a burger on the way?
I'm glad Doc Rich showing this video. I'm glad I'm showing this video because everybody keep on focus on the negative. Yeah, cops ain't perfect. Nobody is perfect. We all got glass house. We all a piece of shit. But we keep on focusing on the bad. Like, damn, you know it's good out there. You know it's the other side to this. And I'm pretty sure the good definitely outweighs the bad. But the issue is we as people that the bad distract us and overwhelm, and we don't have to. We don't have to. We know this. We don't have to, but we do it anyway. So we got to stop doing this. Put the phone down, read the Bible, or just be to yourself. Let your mind just be free. Just talk to God. But these 10-second videos, these apps, these little mini games, it's all a distraction. It's all a send-off. I hate that, man. People see these little videos, get all emotional and wrapped up. They don't have to. Like, people go watch Spider-Man, they start crying. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. My wife, she cried at watching Spider-Man. I'm like, dang. You gotta be careful. Because Spider-Man ain't real. The movie is not real. But the message I get is real. That is real. The message. But for all these characters and all that, they ain't real. But we see this, but we get all worked up with our emotions and get to crying and all that, and making crazy decisions. That's why it's facts over feelings.
Are you in a huge hurry to get in there, or you want to take an extra 10 minutes?
I'm fine taking an extra 10 minutes. Always great.
All right. So what would you like at White Castle?
A couple of tea cider.
Okay. Anything else? You want to make it a meal?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Would you like to sit down and have your food, or you want to come out?
What do you need?
Yeah, if you want to come out and stand up and eat, or if you want to sit down. I don't know if you've been see how tired you are. Here, I'll wait up on the hood of the cars.
Okay.
That's what's up, Jack. You know what I'm saying? The cost is right there. That's what's up, man. Sometimes they take all day, but good thing they do come. They do so well. That's good.
No, it's funny. When I was a kid.
And that's funny because you guys, I'm 43. So, you know, back in the day, the big comedy thing was you'll call 911 or you'll call for the police. You know what I'm saying? In the black neighborhood, they'll take all day or they'll put you on hold. And then when it comes to the white neighborhood, they'll be right there in no time. Like, damn. So they got to the point where I think the joke was he was a black person in a white person's house. You had to call and say it happened in the white person's house just to get help for the other BS. It's a whole little comedy thing that was going on back then. That shit's funny. I'm glad it came right away.
I'll take the trash over there. I'm going to get rid of this one. I think. All right. Let's get you down there so I don't get in trouble for taking too long.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So bad.
Hey, this young lady is very pregnant, and all right.
Within 5 minutes.
Man.
Blessings. Within 5 minutes.
Okay.
Good. Get it. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And then, speaking of that, you know what I'm saying, catching the criminal in 5 minutes, that's good. But, you know what I'm saying, you got these damn Karens, these activist judges, male or females, letting these people out multiple times. I understand, you know, you make a mistake, you know, you got to learn from it. That's the whole point. But these guys' rap sheets keep on continuing. They got like 5 to maybe 8 cases on them. And they're letting them out, and then what happens? They end up hurting somebody, unaliving somebody. It's like, what the heck? It's like, I think 1 or 2 times, that's it. You stay in jail. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Or you heavily monitored. There's no way these people got like 15 cases on them, and they on the streets and unaliving people and hurting them. That's crazy. But you know what I'm saying? These activists are in their feelings. There was no way that white woman got, you know what I'm saying, stabbed in the neck on the train. Now dude claiming he's slow, he's retarded, he's not mentally here. Really? All them black people on that train. She gets on there and he takes her out. But then you got a black girl on the train around all white men, which was all BS. And they made it as if she was feared for her life. And the people that she was on the bus with, they gave her the seat and took the picture. And everybody went nuts with it. And amazing. And then kind of found out the girl was pooping on the bus. The same bus he took a picture of all them white guys with. I believe it was the same bus you would see here on someone on TikTok or some other app, whatever, boo-booing on the bus. Insane. You had to view Sunny Host them saying she looks oppressed. They trying to dominate her. They trying to make her intimidated. Like, really, Sonny. Take care of your husband and your son. They both are criminals now. Get it together.
Thank you. Fantastic.
Beautiful story right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Pregnant homeless woman just had enough, right? Had enough.
Enough is enough.
She was an addict. And, you know, by the grace of God, just said, you know what? I'm done. I need some help. And a cop was there to help her. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I got a couple more. I'm trying to see here. We'll go with this one. Actually, I might have played this before. But anyway, here it is.
What's with the attitude? Just curious.
We're not allowed to have bad days.
No, everybody's entitled to a bad day. I understand that. Like I said, but
on a day is not fun.
Yeah, I can understand that completely.
I come from a background where I don't do cops. I can't stand cops.
I understand you're having a day. So I'm not trying to make it any worse. This is a warning ticket. Pretty slow down. That's it. No court date, no fines, no nothing. I'll ask you to pay attention to the speed limit signs, get to where you get to safely. You good?
No. Anxiety is killing me.
Okay.
I come from a background. I'm clean and sober now.
Do you need help with anything at all? Need a hug?
Yeah.
Come here.
Need a hug. What's wrong with that?
I moved down here to get away from an abusive relationship. And I'm clean and I'm sober for 4 months.
What's with the attitude? Just curious.
Another simple story of compassion, right? The cop didn't get an attitude with her because she gave him an attitude. He didn't lose his cool or anything like that. Showed some compassion because he understood there was somebody who just wasn't in a great situation at the time. And look how it turned out. But according to the far left, cops are all horrible, terrible, no good, very bad people, and we should just get rid of them. Incredible. I'll finish with this last one here. Let me see if I can blow this up into a big screen. Maybe I can't. All right. Here's the last one. Check it out.
This work. Trust me, you don't want this work. You done bucked up on the wrong guy.
Come on.
You done bucked up on the wrong guy. You know that, right?
Come on.
Let me put my glasses on first. Fucking found him. I got him. You don't want this work at all.
Let's get it.
Believe me. Tony, you're a witness to this, buddy.
The glasses came on.
You're a witness to this, Tony. You're a witness to this, Tony. Tony, this is what I do.
Connect 4 champion?
Connect 4 champ. That's what I do. He's gonna try to work this angle.
Guy walks around.
Ain't gonna happen. Yeah.
You're dropping stuff.
That doesn't mean much.
You got it.
That just means he likes the game.
You got it.
Yeah, that means he just likes the game. Tony, as a child, Tony, as a kid, they used to run me out of the rec center. They used to literally be like, get your little ass out of here. That's what I do, bro. So he ran up on the wrong dude. He ran up on the wrong dude this time, Tony. So I lived in the rec center.
Now he deserved a raise. He deserved a raise for that one. Y'all better give him a raise for that one.
I'm a rec kid.
Y'all have a good night, man.
Yeah, cops are not bad, man. I work with the cops. I was security. I did armed security in Chicago since 2013. Barber and security. And I worked with the cops, man. They was cool. It still is cool. Not all them assholes. You gotta realize they human too. You know what I'm saying? They got feelings. They get issues at home. I'm pretty sure they're trying their best to get the issues at home before they come to work. And the same thing with you guys. You already know when it comes to the workforce. You can't just take your shit from home to work. Your day gonna go messed up. You're not gonna be focused. It makes no sense anyway. Keep that shit at home.
Such a genuine interaction there. A guy walks up with the classic game Connect 4. Connect 4. And the cop literally beat him while he wasn't even really paying attention.
Right, he's talking the whole entire time.
Having a full-blown side conversation and still putting belt to behind.
One of the least enviable groups to be a part of in high school were the theater kids. They were known as moody and overly emotional, sequestered in their own dark corners of the high school with no impulse control, no social skills, and just sort of LARPing their way through life. And that reminds me of the Democrat candidates in this slate of new socialists that are seizing power. We warned that the theater kids would be taking over. Socialism certainly does appeal to them because they always wanted an opportunity to punish the jocks. And Abdul El Sayed is the Democrat socialist candidate for Senate in Michigan. He's, I think, 5'1". He wears a teeny little black shirt. He's constantly dancing and prancing about, doing little dances and singing little songs that, quite frankly, would get him thrown off a building in his home of Egypt.
Yeah, you're a little too flamboyant. Yeah, what's going on here, buddy? I don't think Muhammad liked that.
Right here, you can see this is a Taylor Swift rendition. Okay, yep. We get it. Yes, we get it. What you doing, dude? I don't know. There's the Sharia law is not with this one, or maybe there's a lot of Sharia law with this one. You know what I mean? One of the worst things about these communists isn't just that they're evil and outwardly want to destroy Western civilization.
And that's an insult. You know what I'm saying? America 250 years old because of capitalism, and it's working. All of a sudden, these people out of left field spoiled, telling us that it doesn't. How do your mom and daddy get their money? How do they get their money? It wasn't through socialism and communism. It was through capitalism, you idiot. What's wrong with these people? Your mom and dad did not get socialism money. They got capitalism money. But they wouldn't tell you idiots, you lefties and Karens, to go right with it. Oh yeah, free, free, free. Yes, yes, yes. I don't want to work. I want to stay at home. Fucked up, man. Lazy son of a bitches. That's the problem. Us Americans are getting too freaking lazy. Before these cell phones, we all can remember everybody's phone number. All, was it 10-digit, 9-digit numbers? We remember all of them. Now we can barely remember them. That's crazy.
Of course, we all know that. Is that they're so embarrassingly cringe. And they're embarrassed for their own cringe. It's not just these videos that are being uncovered about Abdul El Sayed that are embarrassing. It's his opinions on life, American society, and culture, where he's literally doing the meme. This guy's, again, running in Michigan. He's not running in some bombed out hovel on the East Coast, you know, some Baltimore, right? Where there's literally nothing left. Michigan still has a lot of gas in the tank, proverbially and metaphorically. Well, gas is too expensive. Fireworks suck, says El Sayed, in videos that he removed. And he's been mass deleting comments and commentary about the 4th of July and replacing the Second Amendment. Oh no, in Michigan, where there are tens of...
See, they use the Constitution for their benefits for the moment. But at the same time, they still saying they didn't want the Constitution. They said it. Get rid of the Senate, get rid of the presidency, defund the police, abolish ICE. But right now, the Constitution, he want to use it in his favor for now. All they want to use it for their favor now to get in power. And once they get in, they're going to try to destroy it from, you know what I'm saying, destroy it. Wake up.
Millions of privately owned firearms? Michigan Democrat Senate candidate Abdul El Sayed once asked his YouTube viewers whether Americans could please find another way to celebrate the 4th of July in a video promising 4 reasons why fireworks suck.
Thanks, my guy.
Particularly fascinating because he did the meme. This is the meme, right? It's pretty famous meme. He literally did the meme. Incredible. Abdul El Sayed begged for us to stop lighting fireworks on the 4th of July. Is this what you want, Michigan? Is this what you're going to do, Michigan? In a since removed video, fireworks aren't worth it. Hear us out. He cited Detroit's post-fireworks air quality and chemicals used in the fireworks, their potential trigger in PTSD in veterans, and risks they pose to children and pets. Why would our veterans have PTSD?
How he know what veterans go through? This guy is a fucking clown. How old is this dude? He's not even old enough to understand what a veteran went through, whatever. These guys are a fucking actor.
Maybe you should soul search on that one. I don't think it's the fireworks on the 4th of July and patriotic music. The video is one of several examples of El Sayed removing past online comments as he seeks elected office, as CNN's K-File
Even China like fireworks.
Previously reported. He also deleted social media posts supporting defund the police movement. Oh no. You don't get to just redo that. You know, that's not a thing where you get to just like, oh, I want a do-over, right? You don't get to just like get a bogey on defunding the police and getting rid of all jails. This is something about your soul if you're in favor of this. This is something, I mean, what it really says is that you're a third worlder.
But then they say give all these people, okay, who's gonna protect you guys? And you know these guys gonna have all type of protection. Zoran the dummy, he got protection. All these guys got protection. These Democrats that's in power right now. They got voted in, I believe got selected in. I don't think Madonna got all the votes as far as the Americans. I think he got immigrant votes, but you know, that's another story from there. Yeah.
It says you have a third world 85 IQ. That's what it actually says. And that what you want is you want a world like the third world, where there are no police, there are no rules. It's kind of like Haiti, right? It's just it's kind of anarchy. It's filthy. And nobody can defend themselves. Gangs rule the streets. Mob violence. That's the way that life functions where a lot of these people are from that are calling for the abolition of police. Here we go. The video is one of several examples of El Sayed removing past online content as he seeks elected office. They reported that he deleted this. In other since removed clips, El Sayed argued that the southern border was not among America's 5 biggest concerns and lambasted Republicans for focusing on it. In another, he floated replacing the Second Amendment right to bear arms with the constitutional right to health care. Oh, so we could replace the Second Amendment with universal health care. You gonna go for this, Michigan? Not all of El Sayed's commentary is disappeared. In one episode, he remains online. He questioned whether football should be ethical or safe and linked the sport's ethos to narratives used to justify slavery and westward expansion. I very much look forward to Michigan football season with the Wolverines, the running of these ads. It's going to be great. So you're going to have 2 Michigan massive Big Ten football teams, beloved in Michigan, and you're going to get, and there's a lot of, like, there's Central Michigan. Michigan's a huge football state, obviously, and you're going to get these ads. Get ready. In the YouTube videos, which hundreds appear to have been made private, are another example of how El Sayed's years of a prolific podcaster, commentator, and social media user have extensive record, some of it subsequently deleted, and Republicans use it to portray him both ideologically left-wing and culturally out of step with swing state voters. Hey, Michigan, do you believe that football is evil and not ethical and not safe and was used to justify slavery and manifest destiny? His narrow victory last Tuesday over moderate Democrat set up a general election with Republican Rep. Mike Rogers, high stakes. He was supposed to win in like a landslide. He didn't. Abdul El Sayed deleted all of these YouTube videos because it shows that he is more left-wing.
Delete.
And then Karl Marx, Joseph Stalin, he hates America more, that's for sure. Before launching his campaign, El Sayed removed 100 YouTube videos, transcripts shown floating, replacing the Second Amendment. Oh, man. That should be enough. That should be enough. Transcripts reveal him floating, replacing the Second Amendment and wanting to end fireworks. Fireworks suck. Who has these videos? What is that? He loves to dance just like Ellen. Again. Why don't you go to your beloved Middle East and try dancing like that in the streets, dude? Try it. Not just that. Abdul El-Sayed blamed the Nashville Christian massacre on anti-trans laws. So a trans goes and shoots up and murders a bunch of Christian children, and he said the school shootings are not a trans problem, they're a gun problem. Then he called to repeal the Second Amendment. Oh. Fascinating here. Abdul El-Sayed is now trying to do gym bro videos. Don't get me wrong, I lift every morning, but being a man is not really about how you show up in the gym. It's about how you show up for your family, how you show up for your community. Dude, I'm not going to take lectures on how to be a man from this guy. Or this guy. Or the guy who blames the Christian children who were slaughtered and not the transgender shooter. Abdul spent weeks flooding his timeline with awkward videos of him dancing to teen pop songs. Now he's in the gym explaining what manhood is really about. And saying there's too many OnlyFans models in his Instagram feed. There are no OnlyFans models in my Instagram feed, bro. What's going on there? Exactly. This guy is a piece of garbage. I think, we'll see, but I think this is going to be one that we can win. It's going to be a tough year for Republicans, but I think we can win this one. Anti-2A, anti-4th of July, anti-secure borders, anti-police, anti-America, anti-football. He left out the most important one. His campaign says the videos don't reflect his belief today. The videos are only 3 years old. His opinions on football is going to be the real game changer. That's going to be the real killer. Football is very much associated with a particularly masculine and oftentimes toxic culture. Oh, hell yeah. El-Sayed bashed football and fireworks. Ooh. Bro, this man is insane. Democrats nominated a 4th of July hating Islamist sympathizer in Michigan and a Thanksgiving hating socialist lunatic in Wisconsin. They're going to blow these winnable races as other Democrats overperform in red states.
You not watching the video?
This Democrat star recruit, LMAO.
Yeah, the whole video you can watch.
It's going to be a fun one. Abdul El-Sayed and Francesca Hong, she's in Wisconsin. Her primary is today. They both say that they hate fireworks. I do not enjoy fireworks. 4th of July fireworks suck. I hate Mackinac Island. I hate football, says El-Sayed. Francesca Hong says she hates Thanksgiving and Halloween. They hate everything that is American. And what do you expect? When you bring in people to this country that don't share our culture, our traditions, that are incompatible with American culture. What have we been saying, right?
Right. It's all good, doof. I got 2,400 people watching the video. It's all good. 2,000 views. Not bad. 2,000 views.
We are a people. We're not. It's not an idea. It's a special people for a special time in a special place. And we deserve protection. We deserve to have our cultures preserved as well. And El-Sayed.
Thank you guys. Name is Deontay. Appreciate you guys. You see we growing. 2,295 subscribers. Appreciate it. Thank you guys. We are growing. We are growing.
And it was awesome. Wild, isn't it?
You know, I love introducing you to people who I really enjoy their content. This guy's been taken off on social media. I've seen his account. It's really great.
Hungering or Islamophobe or all this nonsense.
Check out this.
Now, Jigaboo Sharpton is at it again, people. George Floyd's story is the story of all black folks. What? So what? You said all black folks are criminals? His story? Are we talking about the same damn man who went to jail 8 damn times, held a gun towards a pregnant woman, committed robbery, resisted arrest, ain't surmounted to a damn thing his entire life living on this planet? That man? You said black folks' story is like that? That ain't my damn story. Sir, the damn boy consumed a god-awful amount of toxic items before he was unalive. 3 grams of fentanyl. That's enough to unalive anybody immediately, expeditiously, remedy. You know this, don't you, Al Jigaboo Sharpton? You, along with the Democratic Party, was trying to convince us that Eric was the issue. Now, I think the knees was a little bit too excessive. I think most of us can agree to that. But we all also understand he did not die because of no damn knee. We can't be who we want to be. Sir, you've been a damn multi-millionaire most of your life. What are you talking about? Mind you, capitalizing off easily manipulated black folks. Whites kept their knees on my neck. Are you sure about that, sir? Because I'm sure white folks made you.
I guess Doofus want to be part of the part of the chat. Doofus, you want to be part of the chat? You want a blue shield, Doofus? Oh.
Wealthy. Al Sharpton, every damn week is something with this guy. He's always saying something between him and Roland Martin and Hakeem Jeffries, and they give you a damn headache, man.
Doofus feel left out, chat. He feel left out. He ain't got no blue moderator coding on his name. He feel left out.
And they just give you a damn headache.
He in his feelings.
God.
Get out your feelings.
Muslim Brotherhood, which America became aware of in 2008, when the evidence came out in the Hamas Holy Land Foundation trial here in Dallas, was that the Muslim Brotherhood's stated mission is to destroy the United States of America from within.
Yeah, for real, chat. Doofus been to this chat a couple of times since I've been coming live. Doofus been coming to the chat. I appreciate you coming in. Everybody welcome. You don't gotta be MAGA. You ain't gotta like Trump. You welcome to the chat. It's all good. But it's just funny, you know, how y'all be jumping, especially my chat a lot lately. With no nothing to back it up. Just name calling and the same talking points. But you're welcome. Let's continue. I hope you're learning.
Well, we made this movie to stop them, because up until now, no one else has stopped them. The federal government hasn't done it. The military hasn't done it. So there's 2 words you need to understand if you're going to understand Islam. One is hijra. Hijra means immigration jihad, and that comes from by example from what Muhammad did when he was kicked out of Mecca and how he took over Medina. That was immigration jihad. It's what you're seeing throughout Europe. It's what you saw 2 days ago in Spain, and it's what's happening here. And the other word you need to understand is taqiyya. And taqiyya means to lie and deceive in order to further jihad. So that's the 2 things that we're dealing with right now. And the reason the movie is called Remember the Alamo, Don't Stream My Texas is because I've been fighting against the Muslim Brotherhood for 19 years, ever since we ran into jihadis in West Texas on the border that the Sinaloa cartel was bringing in. They had threatened to cut off my friend's wife's head when she reported to law enforcement. So we staged on that ranch for 2.5 days with 5 different agencies, and we stayed there till the current danger had passed. Like I said, they had threatened to cut her head off and take it back to Chihuahua. We thought that they shouldn't do that. So that got me working with the task force out of the Department of Defense, put together by Rich Higgins and led by a man named John Guandolo. And we've been working together now for 19 years. We've had very good success. We stopped the Council on American Relations in the intelligence profession. We believe that they are the propaganda arm of the Muslim Brotherhood. And 11 years ago, they tried to bully my daughter's school district, our school district, my daughter's school, into putting Sharia law into the school district, and they were going to use that as precedent for the rest of the country. But they didn't understand that they came into a little cowboy town where I had already been doing this for several years and worked with the task force out of DOD. The head of the...
Well, I'm glad you're paying attention, Jason. You see what I'm doing, man. We can't let this happen here in America, man. They keep on talking about me and us MAGA, you know what I'm saying? It's all about just common sense, period. And these people with this Sharia law bullshit do not care about us Americans. They don't care about them fucking selves at all either. I'm here to make sure we stop this shit. Put a stop to it and vote red. And have these people come here the right way. You can come in the right way, assimilate to Americans' way, American values. How the hell you come here and they want to change our shit? That's stupid as hell. Keep your shit over there. Your shit, if it don't work over there, don't bring it over here. Simple. You know this.
School board escaped from Iran, so he knew what their game plan was. So we rallied the churches together. We spoke to the town council, and when we came to the school board meeting, we laid out who the Muslim Brotherhood is, what their stated mission is to stop, to destroy America from within, how CARE is their press arm, and what Sharia law is, and how they had just put Sharia law on our kids, and our kids wouldn't even be able to draw Jesus at Christmas in a manger because Sharia law says you can't only not just draw Muhammad, you can't draw any of the prophets. So 5-0, the school board came together, liberals and conservatives, and they kicked CARE out of the school district. CARE came back, said, we're going to sue you. We said, bring it on. And they backed down like bullies do when you punch them in the nose. Winning peacefully, how we did in that school district, is the model that we're going to use to win Texas. We win Texas, that'll be an example for the rest of the country. And they have to take down Texas because they believe if they take Texas, they take the United States of America. Yeah. And if we had more than 4 minutes, we could go into what's been happening here in Texas. It's just absolutely insane.
And this is not good for him because he openly admits on an Arab podcast that he wanted to fool white liberals into voting for him.
White communities, they've had representation forever. And so for them, their tie is a little less identity and a little more ideology. And so what I mean by that is we have a lot of voters here who think of themselves first as progressive voters. And so we reach out to them speaking about our platform, our progressive platform. And you're very right that you need someone in the middle to be a validator, someone to tell them to trust us, believe in us. We've had that with Tiffany Caban and Cynthia Nixon.
A Muslim man cannot be a progressive. Any of you that are falling for that are like, this shows exactly what the plan was. He knew that white liberals, they would have their white guilt and savior complex and want to vote for somebody that looked like him. They don't use common sense to say, well, that doesn't make sense that he's a progressive considering the Muslim faith is like forbids everything in the progressive movement. That let's just ignore that because we should vote for him because of his skin color and his race. Like, he just literally admitted that was his plan. White women like Cynthia Nixon will be the first ones to put on that hijab. They will be the first ones in the name of inclusivity because they needed to look like a white savior because they got him elected. He said right there to get elected. This is exactly what the plan is for these radical Islamists that want to overthrow our country. They will lie to your faces. They will say, you can do whatever you want. Drink, get an abortion, marry the same sex. Change whatever you want about your body and your gender. I totally support that when he knows dang well that is against everything in his faith. I mean, how many more times do they need to spell it out for you? If this video that just got exposed doesn't, wake some people up, I don't know what will. But let me know what you guys think. I'm being hateful
when it's not hate. It's not coming from a place of hate. When I don't believe that women's rights should be trampled on or mocked because we have to accommodate somebody with an extreme mental illness who thinks that they were born in the wrong body when they're not. See, I am more of a straightforward person. I'm not going to lie to you to protect your feelings. I would rather hurt you with the truth than comfort you with lies. I was always taught that. And I was always taught that honesty is the best policy. Now, I just came across a video that was so shocking, and I'll just play it for you guys and you can see for yourself. First ever pregnant trans woman baby due tomorrow. You know, I hate the fact that so many people in this world, every person.
Y'all hear that? She already carrying her baby. Don't know what a sex baby is already. I'm pretty sure she probably don't care, but first trans baby. Wow. Bring back the insane silence.
In this world denies the fact that they came from a mother. They don't know how to define a mother or a woman. Because if the left were to simply say a woman is an adult human female, oh my gosh, their fellow leftists would turn their backs on them and call them a bigot that fast. My first thoughts when I seen that video was what an absolute mockery of motherhood, right on full display. And like thousands of people liked that video. You know where my mind automatically went? It wasn't automatic hatred. It was hatred for the mockery of women who have not only died during childbirth, but also it was empathy for the women who almost died during childbirth and they bled ridiculously and had to have an emergency hysterectomy and are now incapable of having their own babies. I thought of the women who maybe had reproductive cancer at some point or not in their life and are just infertile. I thought about the women who have fertility problems and can't have babies. And yeah, what an utter mockery this has become. So in the left's eyes, trans rights trump women's rights. And then stop, hold up, wait a minute, something right there, because they said that Trump was going to take away women's rights. This is coming from the same people who said that trans women are...
Right. So again, back to this whole MAGA thing situation. Got to keep bringing it up because it has to be. You guys keep on dissing us. These people don't want you to have rights. They women don't have rights. The women's got to wear hijabs. Are you guys crazy? You guys want to walk around with towels?
Women and trans women belong in women's sports, locker rooms, changing rooms, fitting rooms, everything. Those same women are now going to WNBA games, but not to support the WNBA players. Nope, they're going there to protest Sophie Cunningham. Beautiful Sophie Cunningham, who said it's just not fair to have males in the WNBA. And so the WNBA, of course, wokety woke, they had to say that we're all inclusive. Until Royce White and Inez Freedom said that they wanted to, try out for the 2027 WNBA drafts. Then all of a sudden, the left, you're not transgender. How dare you? Oh, but who are you to say that they're not? It was so funny to see the left's reaction to Royce White and Inez Freedom that it was like, oh, but if we say the same thing, we're bigots. But you could say it. And you see the modern day feminists, nowhere to be found. In fact, the modern day feminists not only attack Sophie Cunningham, but on a regular basis attack Riley Gaines and J.K. Rowling. You see, they can't be pro-women's rights because if they were, well, they would be supporting people like J.K. Rowling and Riley Gaines and any other of the 1,000+ women and young girls who have had titles and scholarships, awards stripped away from them because of mediocre male athletes have found their new place in women's sports. So you see, I'm not hateful. I'm more honest. I'm more forthcoming. I'm more forward with the truth. And if you say that a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man, well, I'm not the bigot for saying it's not true. You are the phobe. You're the one who's afraid of the truth. And for 365 days in a row, people like Dylan Mulvaney mocked womanhood. Nice. Real nice. I wonder how Dylan's mommy felt
Julian,
about
what
that.
do you mean by that?
Or his
Julian
sister,
Fry,
or his
what do you mean
aunts,
by
his
that?
grandmas. Because I will tell you this right now, to see a man going on social media and he's basically saying every stereotype of women, mocking us and making mucho dinero in doing so. My light just went out, so...
Julie, who gives a fuck about the fucking Miss Patchett shit? Are you even fucking paying attention? Why you in my chat, Julie? Why you in my chat? Who gives a fuck what Trump did about some motherfucking teen shit? USA. Are you fucking serious? Hey, I think Julian Fry's on the Epstein files. Julian Steen.
This isn't for me, you guys. I'm not a bigot. This is not hate speech, but it's speech that the left hates, which is the truth. And if you are a truth teller, and if you like the truth, you don't like people lying to you, well, perhaps I'm the right content creator for you, and you should hit that follow button. I'm available on all other platforms. My link is in my bio. Hit that like if you agree.
And it's time for the Relief Factor Pain of the Week.
And now, the Relief Factor Pain of the Week. Oh.
All right. This week's Relief Factor Pain of the Week comes to us from the great state of Wisconsin, where Democrats are apparently looking at everything that has gone wrong for their party over the last few years and saying, you know what? We just haven't quite gone far enough. I want you to meet Francesca Hong, state legislator, chef, Democratic socialist, and currently leading in the race to become the Democratic nominee.
This is the last one. I just feel that history should never forget how the unvaccinated people were treated by these people.
We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin.
Look at him.
And your refusal has cost all of us.
Joe.
People who are incubators for every variant to come, walking around lawfully unvaccinated? That's psychotic.
For the unvaccinated, you're looking at a winter of severe illness and death. For yourselves, your families, and the hospitals you may soon overwhelm.
About this, in a world of threats and tyrants, terror, you know what our biggest enemy is in America? Our fellow Americans.
But they are the one. Man called us a tyrant. Jesus, man. I'm telling you, I'm never going to let them live this down.
Instead of propagating this outbreak.
Vaccinated person having a heart attack, yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo, rest in peace.
Yeah, Tampon Tim partner a pedophile. A 10-year-old. For several times he messed it with her. He went to jail for it, but Tampon Tim pardoned him. And the ICE agents saying about to go get his ass, he got a pardon. So now the pervert, the freak is free to roam around the country because of Tampon Tim. Pardon him. They love pedophiles.
Weezy,
the man suggested that if because we didn't get vaccinated, that we shouldn't even get any help from the hospital. These are the elites. These are the people in these positions pushing this propaganda and fear mongering. We should never ever forget these people.
At 25% can cause a lot of damage, and they are.
If
if you're willing to walk among us unvaccinated, you are an enemy.
And until this day, this is how they think of us. To the point that they have taken people on our side's lives. These people are the real tyrants.
Well, you know, it's my rights. Okay. But I don't care.
Freedom not to follow the facts, even if your freedom kills people? What kind of freedom is that? What kind of freedom do they really want?
I am still pissed. You know why I'm pissed? Because I lost my business due to these traitors going on TV lying, fear-mongering, and ostracizing people who decided to take full autonomy, make full decisions of their body, right? These are the same people that run around saying, my body, my choice. But look what they did to the American people. Look what they did to people. Look how they treated people. Man, they were forcing people in order for them to keep their job. They had to go and get this Wuhan soy sauce shot in them. Do you know how despicable that is? People lost their well-beings. People lost their jobs. People lost their businesses because it is, quote unquote, not essential. I'm pissed. These people should be in jail. They should be prisoned and locked away for crimes against humanity.
Parents, what's wrong with this generation of kids? Why are so many of
the Congresswoman of New York's 14th Congressional District. She is essentially an actress. She's merely playing the part of a New York Congresswoman. In 2017, a group called the Justice Democrats held auditions for potential congressional candidates that they would run on their platform for various congressional seats throughout the country. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's brother, Gabriel, submitted her for the role.
Back in 2016, we put out a call for nominations, trying to capture the diversity of background, of experience of the American electorate, the people that aren't currently represented in office. We got over 10,000 nominations. Out of those 10,000 nominations, we found Alexandria.
Profile is not what you'd think of as someone who should run for office.
My brother told me that he had sent my nomination in the summer, but I was like literally working out of a restaurant then. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. Feeling like it was a movement and that it wasn't about me was the most convincing aspect. Being like, oh yeah, I'll do this because it's a bunch of crazy people. Everybody knows someone in their life that is already an amazing public servant. Nominate that amazing public servant to take their service to the halls of Congress. Give them that nudge. My brother did it for me, and he got me into this whole mess.
A casting call. They had a casting call. They cast Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in the role of Congresswoman.
I think back then, a lot of what I was maligned for and told was extreme is now almost seen as quite common wisdom.
He's a psycho. Yeah.
The world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change. You can't earn $1 billion.
That's right.
The lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise that Elon has, probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever met or seen or witnessed. This dude is not smart.
Really? Need a haircut. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he talking to you, man. Yeah.
What's up, man?
You slobbing.
Raylan.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm YouTubing.
And you pop, D pop. Right. Okay.
Set a time to get to your future. I'm sure you saw the poll in New Hampshire that had you as the leading candidate, leading choice for Democrats. First, are you going to run for president?
I mean, I'm focused on winning the midterms. I'm running for Congress right now.
But I mean, do you see this as something? I know you said you're open to it. Is it a realistic possibility?
I haven't ruled out the possibility, and I'm very
humbled to the tremendous amount of support out there. I think that we have a responsibility to remain focused on the midterms and not on our individual aspirations or plans.
And running for Senate against Chuck Schumer, is that also something that's possible?
I mean, I think that anything is possible at the...
I didn't think it was possible to find a worse option for president than Joe or Kamala, but there it is. She's trying so hard to play it cool. Oh, really? I'm not even thinking about that. If that is the Democrats' top choice, they may as well just hand us the election now. Oh, AOC, please do. Anybody with eyeballs and a functioning medulla oblongata sees her for the train wreck she is. So please do it, girl. The only thing worse than having a bogger-eating dementia puppet as president would be AOC. Do you think other countries would respect her? I'm just saying, it would be just like what happened with Kamala ding-dong word salad. Guaranteed victory, boo-boo.
For those with eyes.
Happened in Minneapolis happened.
I don't know how many times this has to be said, but ICE are not police officers. We don't have to obey commands from them. They don't have any authority over U.S. citizens.
The amount of confidence you
That's how you get somebody unalive. That rhetoric right there, that BS, that's how you get somebody unalive.
had to post that video is mind-blowing. But let's see what the law actually says. So point number one, ICE authority comes directly from federal statute. According to U.S. Code 1103, it says that the Secretary of Homeland Security shall be charged with the administration and enforcement of immigration and naturalization of aliens and may establish such regulations and issue instructions to carry out that authority. Everybody asking, well, why is ICE in Minneapolis, in Minnesota? Because they were directed to go there. That is the legal basis as to why ICE exists. And it encourages its agents to enforce federal immigration laws, whether that be arrests, detentions, or serving warrants. But let's see what else their specific powers entail, because the federal regulations spell out what ICE and other immigration officers are allowed to do, including the force that they may use. According to CFR 287.8, it assigns authority to certain immigration officers, special agents, enforcement officers, etc., to use non-deadly and deadly force only when reasonably necessary to protect the officer or other persons from imminent danger of death or serious physical injury. This is explicit legal text authorizing ICE officer to use force even if that force is deadly. You know, like someone slamming their foot on the gas pedal while an ICE agent is right in front of their vehicle. That is deadly force. And DHS has a force policy. The Department of Homeland Security, which oversees ICE, has a formal use of force policy that applies to federal officers. It is required by law under Title VI of the U.S.
No, it's fun. It's not a problem defending Trump. At the end of the day, Trump don't know me, so it's fun. I really don't care. So once again, fuck it. I'm not offended. I know Trump don't know me. I don't know him. So what's next? Because you don't want the TDS. We just trying to tell you dumbass to wake up about this Democratic socialist shit. But you so up your ass, you keep on Trump. The title is DSA. Yes, I have a MAGA hat on. But my title is talking about DSA. You fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. Trump is the GOAT, and you guys, they know that. That's why you guys keep on gravitating to our conservative channel, to our MAGA channel. You keep saying MAGA is a cult or MAGA is falling apart, but you guys can't get enough of being on our channels. Because we're not a cult. We know what I'm saying, it's called common sense. And we not no pussies either. You guys are the pussies. You ones crying about slavery. You want free government shit. You want daddy government give you everything for free. You Fucking idiots, man. You guys are fucking lazy, man. Keyboard warriors. Never been in a fucking fight. That must motherfucking Trump in a beauty pageant. You know how old that shit is? That's how you know a person is a fucking leftist or just a fucking retard. Their whole life is back then. With Trump, he touched somebody back then. You know how many people back then and relatives touched each other? That shit didn't even happen. You might want to talk about that though. Nasty ass relatives that you guys got. You might want to talk about that though. What, you mad Trump didn't touch you? What the fuck? That shit crazy as hell. Everything I'm showing, it's about the DSA. I don't think I show anything of Trump. Hey Chad, did I ever play anything of Trump video or a picture of Trump since that stream? I think I streamed for about 3 hours. I ain't show Trump video at all. I don't think anything of Trump I ain't even show. But you got these fucking idiots coming on my channel talking about Trump. Like, damn, dude, I ain't even play Trump. I'm playing everything else but Trump. I got the hat on, but the video is basically saying wake the fuck up and the DSA is full of shit. But you son of bitches can't get out of it. Can't get it off it. That's crazy. Liberals are inbred. Yeah, they nasty. They the pedophiles. They love you on the plantation.
Code. The DHS, listen very clearly, it assigns deadly force may only be used when an officer reasonably believes the subject poses an imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury. Well, let's take
2,296 so far. We growing. Thanks for asking. Appreciate that.
a moment and see who that ICE agent was, because if you just glance at his record, you will know that not too long ago, that same ICE agent was dragged from the back of another vehicle of protesters. So when he sees someone slamming on the gas headed right towards him, what do you think his trauma response is telling him? Keep in mind, he's been dragged by a vehicle before, and now a second vehicle by an activist that has been getting in the way.
Her uncle might not be pregnant. It might be that time of the month for her uncle. Are you fucking serious, Julie? ICE officers are supposed to get out of the way of in front of a car. Are you fucking stupid? How about your stupid ass, keep your stupid ass at home and let the ICE agent do their job, what they're getting paid for to do. These people getting paid $100,000 a year to do their fucking job. What the fuck was you doing, Julie? With your fucking mask on. Fucking frog suit on. Got a frog suit on and a mask on. Fucking warrior. Keyboard warrior. Renee Good was an idiot. She was out there for 3 minutes blocking traffic, her and her fucking stupid ass girlfriend or whatever she is to her. Out there agitating the officers. Bothering the neighborhood. It was some dude on the second floor recording the whole thing. She was disturbing the peace, you fucking idiot. She wasn't helping nobody out. She was an agitator. So what happened to her? It happened. It's on her, her stupid ass. You're gonna drop your son off and then go out there and agitate officers doing their job, getting paid $100,000 a year to do their job. Who the fuck is you? Fucking idiot, man. Once again, you don't write. Who act? Well, then shut the fuck up then. I don't write the ICE procedure manual. Well, get the fuck up out of here. You sound stupid. People like you deserve to be made fun of and talked about. Period. Fuck your feelings. On the real. Stupid as hell.
Of federal officers from doing their job is now pointing their vehicle right at him. You don't think he reasonably thought that he was in danger, that potentially his life would be on the line again. So please, for the love of God, don't believe people like that, lady.
Right, it sounds stupid as hell. The ICE agent doing his job, she put her car in his way, and she all of a sudden panics and hits the man. No, if she kept her stupid ass somewhere else, she supposed to have been at home, miles away at home, she wouldn't be dead. And then Alex Pretty, his stupid ass, how you gonna bring a gun to a, you know what I'm saying, to where the ICE agents at doing their job, and you agitating them? Broke the police vehicle lights off, kicked it off. You not being peaceful, you an agitator. So in a way, they deserve to die. It's on them. Keep your stupid ass at home. Stop letting the media send you off. You don't see the fucking media out there protesting with their cameras. You fucking idiot. You don't see the news out there with their cameras protesting. But your stupid ass out there watching it, doing it. Retarded ass. Come in my chat talking stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna defend Trump.
In the beginning, because it's due to misinform people like that, that stuff that happens in Minneapolis is happening today.
My daughter is assaulted and raped. Is there any agency that would seek to find her assailant and bring him to justice?
I'm not second outside. What you mean I'm Second Amendment? You see it in my chat. I could have blocked your stupid ass out of my chat room if I wanted to. Julie, what you still here? What are you talking about? Once again, you look chat, Julie and her feelings. Them, they, who the fuck this is, then they feelings. Welcome to the chat. Like, subscribe to the channel, Julie. Tough skin over here. Tough skin.
Of course, yeah, of course,
What would
absolutely.
it be if not police, and where would he be if not in jail?
So, I guess I really want to avoid getting kind of caught into these hypotheticals and talk more about the reality that we're actually facing right now, which is that we're spending absolutely outrageous amounts of money on police and policing, and we're not spending money on things that actually make people.
So in reality, I have no clue. I don't really know. What I do know is I want to talk about my pre-planned talking points. This is what happens when you ask these democratic socialist questions, one level deep. They're out here, yeah, let's get rid of prisons and get rid of the police. Okay, if something happens to my daughter, if you get rid of the prisons and police and my daughter's raped, how are we going to solve that problem? And what will happen to the man that raped her? Well, brain melts, short circuits. Because they don't know. They're a bunch of babbling, blood-sucking idiots. And again, I say this because the Democratic Party is welcoming these people with open arms. We're a big tent party, Chuck Schumer says. Don't believe me? Watch.
Is the rise of the DSA good for your party? Look, we are a big tent party. And being a big tent party is a strength, not a weakness.
Democrats, and by the way, the girl I showed you talking, she's one of the national leaders for the Democratic Socialists of America. And again, the Democrats are welcoming them. It'd be different if we were talking about differences in marginal tax rates and difference in foreign policy. That's not where Democrats are going. Again, these people are welcoming people into the Democratic Party, into national politics. Let's think about this. That want to get rid of the Senate, that want to abolish the police, that want to abolish prisons, that want to get rid of the presidency, they want to get rid of the Supreme Court, and they want to replace that with a body that is appointed by essentially like a House of Representatives. They quite literally want to make our country less safe and destroy the foundation that built this republic. This is a republic, and that's important because the foundation and how this republic was structured is one of the reasons, the primary reason it's lasted so long. The balance of power, checks and balances. Having democracy play a role, but not having a pure democracy so you don't have 51% pushing down their agenda on the other 49%. That's how you get wars. These democratic socialists are a threat to the republic, and Democrats are welcoming them in with open arms. And also, if you want to see how fintech companies have been censoring conservatives and even deplatforming people like Donald Trump, I'm going to have a link to that in my profile. It's an article. It's about a 3-minute read. And in my opinion, it shows why it's important that we stay engaged culturally and politically. It is sponsored. The link to that's in my profiles. Just go to my profile, click the link. It'll be the first thing you see. That's it, guys.
You a fry to do better, or you a try to do better? He said some damn fry. Julie, take your time when you text. It's okay. You don't gotta rush the text.
That's right, I was there, and they're not going to be happy about me publishing this video at all. Too bad. Have you heard of the People's Forum? It is the radical left-wing organization fueling the rise of the DSA in American politics. Well, I snuck into one of their meetings at their New York City headquarters last week. All right, guys, we're walking up to the People's Forum office right now. Wish us luck. We made sure our spy pens were on and ready to go, recording audio and video, and we proceeded to walk into the venue. We had no problems checking in, but we were told up front that there was absolutely no recording allowed during the meeting. Listen to them brag about how they're taking power using undercover operatives for the DSA, including illegal immigrants. Their code word for illegal immigrants is compañeros, which means comrade in Spanish.
We know that the eyes of the capitalist class and the surveillance state is on the left, right? And then we have to take that threat seriously. I just want to say that as an immigrant who was not born in this country, as a formerly undocumented immigrant, as someone who just got her citizenship in 2016, I did not openly identify myself as a socialist. For a while, I was a closeted socialist. So I understand that, sometimes because of our own safety, because of the political context, because of your power, you may not be as out and proud or active in particular roles that may be public in your politics. But what I do want to say is that there are so many ways in which you can be involved behind the scenes in small ways. Part of the work that I did and the reason I moved to Queens was because I saw the political power that undocumented workers and undocumented people in Queens were building. And, I see some compañeros here that I work with at NICE, Barbara, shout out, compañera, who were part of this movement, right? And so I know deeply and personally and firsthand that you don't have to have papers to have power, right?
We need to band together, and we need to get ready for this war that's coming up.
Florida, what's up, man? How you been? It's been a while. How you been, Florida? The chat been wild lately. You've been missing out. Well, you have been in the chat, you've been quiet, but I'm glad you're here, man. This will be the last video for the day. It's been like 3 hours, almost 4 hours I've been streaming. But let's continue.
No more of a class war.
So, just look at all the communist literature they had everywhere.
The Communist Manifesto.
They had Lenin.
Manifesto for sale.
Give me a break. They're not communist, my ass. The place was covered in communist propaganda and literature. First, I spotted several references to the Black Panther Party, the militant black nationalist organization that has Marxism and Maoism as core tenets. On the wall was a painting of Assata Shakur, an open communist and leader of the Black Liberation Army who was charged in the United States with several bank robberies and murders, including a conviction for killing a state trooper. She fled to Cuba after escaping prison and was protected by the communist regime there until her death in 2025. I spotted countless depictions of Vladimir Lenin, the murderous Bolshevik dictator who founded the Soviet Union and is responsible for as many as 10 million deaths during the Red Terror and through concentration camps and mass forced starvations. Several attendees sported red Bolshevik stars on their hats and shirts. After I asked one about his shirt, he told me outright that he was a communist and thinks that figures like Hassan Piker are not radical enough for him. A book by Communist Party leader Claudia Jones was on display on the front table, as well as several by Karl Marx on the bookshelf behind it. So what does this all mean? The DSA candidates who claim that they are not communists are giving speeches to and collaborating with the People's Forum.
Thank you, Lauren. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick and tired of these liberals, man. They want to keep on talking to us people like we slow. We are grown adults. Adults are back in the room. Especially with this channel. You fucking liberals not finna come on my channel. You know what I'm saying? And think you can get away with it. It's not finna happen. Who gives a fuck they dismantled his gun? He shouldn't have his dumb ass there. with a gun. If you're gonna protest on the other side of the street. Don't get to the point where you agitate, then the cops all of a sudden get towards you. Now you want to cross the street to the other side all of a sudden. Nah, don't do that. I seen the whole play. I seen the videos. It is entirely all minutes of it, not no seconds. I seen minutes of the videos. Both of these men and women deserve the bullshit that happened to them, and that's period. I'm not taking that back. They deserve the bullshit on them. They chose to do the dumb shit. They chose to watch The View. They chose to be around people like, you know what I'm saying, this stupid Julie, and got themselves unalive. You fucking idiot. Sounds stupid as hell. They took the gun, but they still shot him. So fucking what? He deserved it. Now what? Shouldn't have been there. I'll be back tomorrow. Love you guys. Love everybody. I'm not here to preach hate. I'm here to preach common sense. Wake the fuck up. Facts over feelings. Fuck your feelings. They don't care about mine. They don't care about yours. So fuck them. Let's grow together. Other than that, again, fuck these people's feelings. They don't care about yours. Let's grow, man. Damn. I'll be back tomorrow for you guys. I'll be back a little bit early. Like, share, and subscribe.